determination to keep its giant. This particular flag has special meaning today because we've added the letter D. So now it proudly states, "Saved our giant." Now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the pitcher's mound area and welcome Grammy Award winner Tony Bennett.
Oh, beautiful, or spacious skies, or amber waves of grain, or purple mountain majesties above thy fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. I want to thank you for being so beautiful to me right through the seasons. I left my heart in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog may chill the air. I don't care, my love waits there in San Francisco, above the blue and windy sea. When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Bennett.
Oh, the good life, full of fun, seems to be the ideal.
Tony Bennett, a little bonus coverage of Tony Bennett. Not only the famous "I Left My Heart in San Francisco," but a little extra music, and the crowd, of course, loves him. Sports Channel On Deck continues. You all recognize this man, Joe Morgan. He'll be alongside Ted Robinson when we begin it. In a minute, Barry Bonds is going to pick up his MVP trophy. You got the honor of doing that twice. The feeling.
Bonds has scored 2 runs today, 26 of them on the year. Right now, he's just trying to get McGee in to win it. And there's a play to left field, a base hit. McGee's coming home. Giants win. Bonds does it again. Oh, wow. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Bernstein, one of the partners of the new San Francisco
Please direct
Giant
your attention
ownership
to the
group.
home plate area and welcome the Giants managing
Let's
general
go back to
partner,
Sherry now.
Peter McGowan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. The Giants. Thank you. The Giants, thank you very much. I received that welcome on behalf of our entire ownership group. Thank you very much. The Giants have a special award to make today to one of their great Giant players. And our presenter is a man who needs no introduction. For many of us who had the chance to watch him during his magnificent career, he was simply the finest player to ever play the great game of baseball. Please join me in welcoming the incomparable, unforgettable, number 24, Willie Mays.
And with Willie Mays to make this presentation is another MVP in his own right, two-time Grammy Award winner and Columbia recording artist, Michael Bolton.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say to a writer that wrote a story this morning, and I said something about the fans of San Francisco. It's very hurt me to hear or to read something like that about fans. I played baseball in this city for many years, and I like to say to the guy that wrote the column, come to my house and tell me the truth about what happened. And I mean that. But I'm not here to talk about a man that do not like the fans of San Francisco. I'm here to present an award to my godson, even though last year he played for a team that we didn't like. And I don't know why he's getting this award today. He killed us last year. But this is a special award, the most valuable player. That is great. The kid that I'm talking about is my godson, Barry Bonds. Come on, Barry. This is his mother, Pat Bonds, probably scared to death anyway, so I have to introduce her. You got it, Barry.
First of all, I want to say thank you to my godfather, Willie Mays. It's an honor for me to have such a godfather and a great, wonderful baseball player that I've admired ever since I was a child. Second of all, on behalf of the San Francisco Giants and myself, It's an honor also to have such a great entertainer, Michael Bolton, a personal friend of mine that I love very much, with the San Francisco Giants jersey signed by everyone on the team. The MVP trophy from last year, I said I'm giving it to my mom. And my mom's here today. I'll give all of them back to win a World Series ring here in San Francisco. Last and least, we have out there in left field, the Bond squad. I don't really like to take credit for it, so I'm going to honor it to my teammates and to all of the fans here. It's for the fallen children, abused and neglected children. We are going to donate 50 seats June, July, and August, and for the future to come, so all the children have the opportunity to watch the San Francisco Giants play baseball. Thank you.
Great reception for Barry Bonds, a two-time National League Most Valuable Player. Inexplicably, they're a little harsh on Bolton. Don't know why. Take a good look at Bonds in his Pirates uniform, and this is what he did last year. Not only 39 steals, 34 homers, 103 RBI, batting .311. The man many consider to be the best player in the game right now, Barry Bonds, picking up his MVP trophy. And the celebration continues with Sherry Davis.
Please direct your attention to home plate, where Giants radio play-by-play master, the voice of the Giants, Hank Greenwald, will introduce today's starting lineup.
It is time to meet the visitors for today's home opener, making their first appearance ever here at Candlestick Park. Let's welcome the newest members of the National League, the Florida Marlins. Here is the manager of the Marlins, Rene Latchman. Leading off and playing center field, number 21, Chuck Carr. Batting second, the second baseman, number 8, Brett Barbery. Hitting third and playing left field, number 19, Jeff Conine. In the cleanup spot, the first baseman, number 39, Orestes Destrada. Batting fifth and catching, an old friend, number 09, Benito Santiago. Hitting sixth, the right fielder, number 47, Junior Felix. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 6, Rich Renteria. In the 8th spot, playing shortstop, an old neighbor from across the bay, number 22, Walt Weiss. And warming up in the Marlins bullpen, their starting pitcher today, number 38, Chris Hammond. And now let's greet the rest of the 1993 Florida Marlins.
ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the 1993 San Francisco Giants. Making his first appearance at Candlestick Park as the Giants' new manager, let's welcome number 12, Dusty Baker. Now in his 8th season as a coach with the Giants, number 5, Bob Lillis. 9 seasons as a Giants catcher. Now his 2nd year as a coach. Number 15, bullpen coach Bob Brenly. An all-time Giants favorite, 5 times a member of the 30-30 club. Number 16, batting coach and first base coach. Welcome back, Bobby Bonds. He's been named Texas League and California League Manager of the Year, entering his 5th season with the Giants. Number 20, third base coach Wendell Kim. He was a coach with the Cubs 1989 division champions. He pitched in the 1975 World Series with the Red Sox. Please welcome Giants' new pitching coach. He's in the bullpen, number 48, Dick Pohl. He's been a coach, scout, and player for more than 30 years. And welcome back to the Giants organization to number 58, Denny Summers. A 7-year Major League veteran appearing in his first opening day as a Giant, number 1 outfielder Dave Martinez. He's been the Giants' second baseman for 8 years now and a great favorite here at Candlestick, number 6, Robbie Thompson. He's the all-time Major League leader for saves by a left-hander, number 19, Dave Righetti. He led the National League in ERA in his first season as a San Francisco Giant. Last year, number 26, Bill Swift. One of the Giants' bright young prospects, number 28, left-hander Kevin Rogers. He led Giant pitchers in wins in 1990 and again last year. Yesterday's winning pitcher in Pittsburgh, number 33, John Burkett. He's starting his 2nd season in a Giants uniform, number 34, pitcher Dave Burbach. He's a veteran of 1 World Series and 2 divisional playoffs. 105 wins as a big league pitcher, number 40, Bud Black. Now in his 3rd Major League season with a career winning percentage of .583, pitcher number 41, Brian Heckerson. He's been a team leader in pitching appearances in each of the last 5 years. Number 42, right-hander Mike Jackson. He's hit 8 pinch hit home runs in his 4 previous big league seasons. Number 45, outfielder Mark Carrion. He's had 6 career Grand Slam home runs. A new addition to the Giants for 1993, Todd Benzinger.
catches and plays 3 infield positions as well. He's in the bullpen, number 46, Craig Colbert. He was the Giants' save leader last year, an ERA of 1.76, number 47 pitcher Rod Beck. In his 9th year in the Giants organization, his 5th wearing a San Francisco Giants uniform, number 49 pitcher Jeff Brantley. An 8-year big league veteran, a member of the 1990 world champion Cincinnati Reds. Another newcomer to the Giants this year, number 52 catcher Jeff Reed. In his first season with the Giants, let's welcome assistant trainer Barney Nugent. And beginning his 8th campaign in San Francisco, his 16th major league season, head trainer Mark Laton. Giants clubhouse assistants David Lowenstein and Dennis Perry. And starting his 13th season as the visiting clubhouse man, Harvey Hodgerney. And the man who has been with the Giants ever since this team moved west in 1958, his 36th year with the Giants, equipment manager Mike Murphy. And now let's introduce today's starting lineup. Leading off and playing right field, a 3-time Gold Glove recipient, 4-time All-Star and 1985 National League MVP, number 51, Willie McGee. Batting second, he led last year's team in stolen bases with 28. The center fielder, number 2, Darren Lewis. Hitting third, the first Giant since Willie Mays to start 5 straight All-Star games. The Major League's only active player with a career batting average over 300 and a slugging percentage of 500, Will Clark. In the cleanup spot, the 1990 National League RBI champion and team home run leader 2 of the last 3 years, third baseman number 9, Matt Williams. Batting fifth, a 2-time National League MVP and 3-time Gold Glove winner, his first home game in a Giants uniform, number 25, Barry Bonds. Batting sixth, the Giants' number 1 selection in the 1988 draft, one of baseball's bright young prospects, shortstop number 10, Royce Clayton. Hitting seventh, the National League leader in throwing out base stealers in 1992, the catcher, number 8, Kurt Manwaring. Batting eighth today, entering his 3rd season with the San Francisco Giants, former Arizona State All-American number 18 infielder Mike Benjamin. And batting ninth and warming up in the bullpen, he pitched a 1-hitter and 3 2-hitters in his young career and became only the 16th pitcher in Major League history to strike out the side on only 9 pitches. The opening day pitcher today, number 32, Trevor Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1993 San Francisco Giants.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and direct your attention to the center field area to present the colors for today, the Vietnam Veterans Color Guard, Unit 400, and soldiers from the 6th U.S. Army Presidio of San Francisco. And now, may we direct your attention to in front of the pitcher's mound, to honor America in the singing of our national anthem, Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, Vince Welnick, San Francisco's own, the Grateful Dead.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the homes of the brave?
And a stadium full of deadheads. Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead. My favorite line is when asked by the PR department, was asked, how'd you get the Grateful Dead? And they replied simply, we asked them. Baseball is coming up. It's Chris Hammond for the Marlins versus Trevor Wilson for the Giants. Opening day 93. Joe and Ted with the call of the action on Sports Channel next. I'm John Schrader. See you tomorrow night on deck right here.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me.
Presenting the RCA 52-inch projection screen home theater. It's bigger and brighter than almost anything out there.
We've been user-friendly since 1946. Our gourmet hardware is compatible to most modems. We're a chop house. That's our program. Pork chops, lamb chops, steaks, prime rib this thick. Our software includes seafood, solids, and vegetables. Monitor our award-winning wine list. We've got dining till midnight and live jazz every night. Bring your mouse. The Garden City, South Saratoga Avenue at 280 San Jose. The Garden City, home of the original Silicon Valley chip.
If you have cable, you have Sports Channel, and you get to see great football and basketball action from Cal and Stanford. But when an A's or Giants game comes on, your TV does this. That's because you don't subscribe to Sports Channel's Pro side. If you pay a little extra for Sports Channel every month, you'll get to see year-round excitement for the A's, Giants, Warriors, and Sharks. So call 1-800-926-SPORT now and order better ball games on Sports Channel.
I think the Giants mean a tremendous amount to San Francisco, maybe more than we know. We'd know how much they meant if we'd lost them. I grew up in New York, and I watched the Giants and the Dodgers go. I work in Oakland, and I saw the Raiders go. And I think I have a sense of what happens to a community when they lose their franchise. But then it's too late. Nothing they can do about it.
It's over! 27 years of waiting has come to an end! The Giants have won the pennant!
last year at the end, it looked like it was impossible, you know, for us to stay in the Bay Area. And a lot of times you don't appreciate something until you almost lost it. And I think the fans will appreciate it much more. Everybody I talked to before we went to spring training, they were all excited for the Giants. They're excited for me being the manager of the Giants. And they were just saying, hey, let's go out and play good, fundamentally sound, tough baseball.
The Giants are home again with new faces and a facelifted ballpark. Join us in welcoming the Giants back to San Francisco next on Sports Channel.
Today, live from Candlestick Park, it's the Giants home opener, featuring the Florida Marlins as the opponent. There's Tony Bennett. It was a great afternoon of baseball here playing for you here at Candlestick Park. And as most of you know, we still have preview week going here on Sports Channel. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joe Morgan, and it's been a great afternoon already. Willie Mays is here, Juan Marichal, Gaylord Perry, Orlando Cepeda, all are going to throw out the first ball. And we've had the Grateful Dead singing the national anthem. Tony Bennett saying, I left my heart in San Francisco. Barry Bonds received his most valuable player award, and they get a look here at Mayor Jordan and Walter Shorenstein as they're going to throw out the first ball. And I guess Willie Mays and the other Hall of Famers will come out later. That's Walter Shorenstein, the general partner of the group that owns the Giants now. And as we know, Mayor Jordan says that he's going to start working on a new ballpark for the Giants. Again, I'm going to wait for Ted Robinson. Ted will be over shortly, but we're going to bring you today's broadcast. And again, it's preview week going on all week here on Sports Channel. You'll be able to see the A's and the Giants here on Sports Channel. And we'll be right back with more right after these messages.
This exclusive presentation of Giants baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Bud Dry. For a beer that's refreshingly different, try Bud Dry. Great Western Bank's family of companies, $38 billion strong. Great Western will always be there. Interactive Network. Remember, all Sports Channel Major League Baseball games are interactive. Saturn. A different kind of company, a different kind of car.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Desonex, do not stall. Desonex intercepts athlete's foot before it turns ugly, killing those grungy fungi before they get cracking and burning. There's a can at the store with your salvation in it. Come get it, or else don't blame Desonex. And for jock itch, Cruex is the #1 cure. Cruex kills jock itch fungus.
All right, we're back at Candlestick Park. Ted Robinson joining you, and with all of the pregame festivities here running just a touch late, we had to do a little fill job on the radio side. So we are getting set for baseball now, and let's get you the starting lineups. First for the Florida Marlins as the Giants take the field. Our first look at the Marlins this season, and let's take a look at what they're doing. This is the first time the Marlins have faced a left-handed pitcher, so they have some changes in their lineup this afternoon. Chuck Carr will be in center field, leading off in the lineup put down by manager Renee Latchman. Chuck Carr makes his first Marlins start today. Brett Barbary will be at second base and bat second. Jeff Conine is the left fielder batting third. Orestes Estrada, the Marlins hope, will do in the National League what Cecil Fielder did in the American League. He'll be the first baseman and bat cleanup. Benito Santiago catches and bats fifth. Junior Felix will be the right fielder batting sixth. Rich Renteria makes his first Marlins start at third base. He'll bat seventh. Walt Weiss is the shortstop batting eighth. And the pitcher, former Cincinnati Red, Chris Hammond, bats ninth. Well, it's been a long day, a long overnight, actually a short overnight, and a long day for the Giants, and they're, I'm sure, a little anxious to get going and play ball right now. And here's the defensive alignment Dusty Baker puts on the field today. In the outfield, it'll be Barry Bonds, Darren Lewis, and Willie McGee. Around the infield from third to first, Matt Williams, Royce Clayton. Mike Benjamin continues to play in place of Robbie Thompson. Robbie is going to be out at least another day or two with some tendonitis in his left forearm and wrist. Will Clark will be at first base. Kurt Manwaring behind the plate. And Trevor Wilson starts the home opener today for the Giants. And for Trevor, this will be, I think, a game that he has probably chomped at the bit for over the last 4 days. Want to get out there and erase the memory, Joe, of what was not a very good start for Trevor in St. Louis.
Well, he got off to a very slow start, threw a few pitches that were nailed, and he got off to a very poor start so far this season. But again, you know, I think Trevor, as I said before the season started, it's imperative for him to get off to a good start. So I don't think he can stand another poor outing. I think a lot of pressure on him today to do well.
Tom Hallion is behind the plate this afternoon with Jim Quick at first, Jerry Crawford at second, and Steve Ripley at third. I don't know who had a shorter night. Us, the Marlins, or you?
I did.
Miracle Man.
I'll answer that. I had the shortest night of all.
Well, I hope our game here today is as good as your game was in St. Louis last night.
Yeah.
Here's Chuck Carr, and the first pitch he sees goes into right center for a base hit. And you got to be careful. This guy can absolutely fly. The question with Chuck Carr is, can he hit it all? He just showed you hitting his first at-bat today. It's his first Marlins hit, and it will quickly bring to the plate former Montreal Expo Brett Barbary. Barbary was the opening day third baseman for the Expos last year. Wound up hitting only .232, but he's a much better second baseman, and that's where the Marlins have him. How good is Wilson, Joe, in your estimation, at keeping men close?
Well, he's okay. I mean, he's not great and he's not poor. He does a pretty adequate job. But against the great base stealers, or the better base stealers, they're going to be able to read him. But he does have a pretty good move.
Chuck Carr had 71 stolen bases last year between AAA and a brief stint with the Cardinals. In fact, stole 10 bases in just 22 games for St. Louis.
Trevor picked off quite a few runners last year, but he also was called for some balks.
And he deals now a ball to Brett Barbary. There's a veteran baseball man, Cookie Rojas, on the third base coaching lines for the Marlins.
Kind of interesting if the bunt was not a bluff, if they're going to play for one run this early in the ball game.
There's Cookie Rojas, former manager with the Kansas City, or with the California Angels, and there's an Oakland native, Vada Pinson.
Great player.
Great player.
He's one of those guys who was underrated throughout his career. He played with Frank Robinson in Cincinnati. Frank hit the home runs and he won MVP awards. Vada Pinson just hit .330 and .340, but never got the recognition. I don't think he's ever received the recognition he deserves.
That's right.
Had 200 hits several times. Had quite a few hits in his career.
Ball 2, no strikes here to Barbary. Vada Pinson has the second highest number of base hits by any player who's not in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
He had that record for quite a while, and now Al Oliver is has the most hits in the non-Hall of Famer. Hit to the shortstop. One. Double play. Giants turn it easily.
And that has to make Trevor Wilson feel good. But you have to give him credit. He got the ground ball. Royce Clayton over to Mike Benjamin playing second base today, and they turned two very easily. But you have to give the pitcher credit. He got the ground ball for them. I've been really surprised at how well Benjamin has turned the double play this year, and you know, most people realize he was a shortstop before.
There's a strike to Jeff Conine. Well, Conine's the leading batter in the National League today. 11 hits in 22 at-bats. He is a product of the Kansas City Royals system. 26 years of age. And it's a ball, 1 strike, 1 count. This is what expansion is for. Jeff Conine was a guy that was, I guess he AAA was about as far as he was going to get with the Royals. He's getting a chance now to see if he can be a big league hitter. Ball 2, strike 1. He's a first baseman by trade, but the Marlins are going to use him in the outfield. Well, the Giants hope they can keep up that kind of success this year. 2-2 now to Conine. What's it like for Dusty today, for people, the home team playing the home opener? Joe, what kinds of emotions do you run through?
Well, we thought he was very emotional opening day in St. Louis. They're probably twice as high. His emotions are probably twice as high today as they were in St. Louis. And I guarantee you he's nervous. But I think the players are too. You have butterflies at the beginning when you play at home. After an inning or two, you kind of settle back into the normal flow of the game.
The inning stays alive as Conine works out a walk. And this will bring to the plate Orestes Destrada. Tony Bennett.
I don't think he left his heart in San Francisco. I think he's got
might have left us some food stains or something. Looks like poor Tony might have dropped something. Great job, both by Tony Bennett and by the Grateful Dead. Here's Destrada, hits it right to Will Clark to end the inning. So Wilson retires the Marlins with the help of a very well-timed double play ball to end the top half of the first inning. Now the Giants lineup as submitted by Dusty Baker for today's game. Willie McGee is the leadoff man in right field. Darren Lewis will be in center field and bat second. The middle of the order is always Will Clark, Matt Williams, Barry Bonds, 3, 4, and 5. Royce Clayton will be at shortstop batting 6th. Kurt Manwaring is the catcher today and he bats 7th. Mike Benjamin at second base bats 8th, and Trevor Wilson is the pitcher for the Giants batting 9th. Oh, a great look to the ballpark, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, it's a beautiful ballpark right now, and we noted the final game of the Bay Bridge series. They've done a lot of things here to make it more comfortable and to make it a lot more intimate than it was before.
Of course, we'll continue to talk about some of the changes as the game progresses. Let's take a look at the Marlins in the field. The Marlins say that's been their strength in their first 6 games. They've played very well in the field, just 1 error. They have a Jeff Conine, Chuck Carr, and Junior Felix across the outfield. In the infield, Dave Magadan is their normal third baseman. Renteria plays there today. Weiss and Barbary is a pretty solid combination up the middle, with Destrada playing first base. Of course, you've got the good arm of Benito Santiago behind the plate, and the Marlins are hoping they can find some good arms in their rotation. They have a bullpen that they think is not bad, but they need some starters, and that's why they went out late in spring training and traded with Cincinnati to get left-hander Chris Hammond. 27-year-old left-hander from Atlanta, Georgia. There are the 1,800 bleacher seats, and already, Joe, you notice there's a sign out there, the Bonds Squad.
Yeah, he made note of that during his acceptance speech of his MVP award. They're going to donate 50 seats during the month of July, August, and September to some abused kids so that they will have a chance to come and see the Giants play.
Well, I'll tell you, why aren't we out there? Those people are going to suntan today.
I don't need one.
Touche. Here's Willie McGee.
But I would like to be sitting out there.
Okay, I got you. Strike 1 to McGee.
In fact, I sat in the bleachers before they made the permanent, the temporary stands. I sat in the seats out there many a night watching the Giants, and in the afternoon. when I was growing up here in the Bay Area.
Is that right? When you came to the park, was that your choice of seats? That's where you wanted to watch?
That's what I could afford. Yeah. It was usually myself and some guys from, you know, the baseball teams I played on, and we'd come over at night and buy the bleacher seats and sit out and have a good time.
I would have thought that an industrious businessman like yourself would have had some ways to parlay that bleacher seat into a second row behind the plate.
No, that's why I'm in business now, though. Because I didn't quite enjoy, I did enjoy sitting out there, but I would have preferred to have been closer.
Willie hits it right to Destrada for the first out. The other thing, when you played, I'm playing for Cincinnati, an easternmost team most of the time. What's this travel like? Both teams had brutal travel days yesterday.
You have to remember the game has changed a lot. And when I first started playing the major leagues, when you went from one coast to the other, you had to have a day off. That was part of the agreement between the Players Association and the owners. Now that has changed.
Good bump by Lewis. And the play made by Renteria. So Rich Renteria in the field, that bunt play by Darren Lewis, and he got him by a stride.
And that was not a bad bunt. It could have been a little closer to the line. It needs to be a little closer to the line. He deadens it pretty well, but it's not over near the, if it's near the line, I think he would have beaten it out. Makes the throw longer, of course.
That gets Hammond his second out here in the inning, brings Will Clark to the plate.
Hammond has an unusual motion in that he kind of hesitates right at the peak of his delivery when he raises his leg to its highest. Right there. That can be deceiving because then he kind of jumps at you with the fastball, or it looks like he's coming at you hard all the time, and when he throws the breaking ball, it throws your timing off. As a hitter, you like for the pitcher to have a fluid motion. You don't like herky-jerky guys. You just like them to, as they used to call them, stylish left-handers. So you can really pick up the ball quickly.
Will Clark's already, he's got a little simmering going on underneath. He's ready to bust out. 4 out of 24. That's not his norm. They swing there, and it's 2-2.
Well, he hit the home run on Saturday afternoon. I thought that would really get him started. But yesterday, when you face a knuckleball pitcher like Wakefield, you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, you're either going to have a good day or a poor day. Nothing in between normally.
That's going to be out to left center field, and it is in for a hit. Conine, and Clark's going to go to second, and he is going to be out. Conine with a slide couldn't get it, but kept the ball close enough that he nails Clark heading into second base. So that ends the first inning. On Clark's single, he's thrown out 7. We'll see who made the tag play there. I think it was Weiss. But the first inning ends with no score.
It's the way we make you feel that makes people fly British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
Turn to Sports Channel this season for baseball. Pure baseball and nothing but baseball. We've got over 115 A's and Giants games that you can't see anywhere else. Plus Sports Channel On Deck, the Bay Area's only nightly highlight show, devoted entirely to baseball. Nobody else brings you A's and Giants baseball 7 nights a week. Call 1-800-926-SPORT or your cable company now and order better ball games on Sports Channel.
Why is it always the same old story? Why ask why? Try a less filling beer with a lot more taste. Bud Dry. When it comes to a great beer. we wrote the book.
Will Clark got the first Giants hit here, but the effort's good. The slide is not so good.
No, his leg is high. He almost hurts Barbary, but actually he's safe because Barbary never tagged him. Well, watch Barbary take his glove away before Will Clark's leg gets there. Right there, see? Will hits the bag first. Now watch his glove go away. See, he never tagged Will, but the throw beat him, and he should have been called out. That was an ugly slide.
And Will made sure. I think he realized that as soon as he went into Barber, he made sure he hadn't hurt him.
Right, because he apologized, because that's not the way you slide with your spikes high like that.
Benito Santiago leading off, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Maybe you're right. There was a little anger in that fastball there from Trevor Wilson. Maybe probably the hardest pitch he's thrown all day.
Santiago at 222, 4 for 18. That's 2 in a row.
And there's times when I feel like Trevor needs to just reach back and turn the ball loose. You get caught up in sinking the ball down and away, throwing sliders down and in, and you get behind in the count. And then you have to come in with a fastball. You should always throw the fastball when the hitter's not expecting it.
Phrase you often hear for pitchers, veteran pitchers, they'll tell a young guy, trust your stuff.
Yeah, and that helps keep the guy off balance. I mean, you get ahead of him, he starts automatically looking for the breaking ball, and you continue to throw him the fastball, you're going to stay ahead of him.
This is where we've already seen in the early week of the season, Joe, trying to get the third out, trying to get the third strike. He was ahead here 1-2.
Yeah.
Now it's 3-2.
You have to be able to put the hitter away, and there are a lot of people who cannot close out the inning nor put the hitter away. And those are the pitchers that have the most problems in the major league. It doesn't do you any good to get ahead 0-2 or 1-2 if you can't put the guy away. And what I mean by putting away doesn't mean you have to strike him out, but you have to have him make a funny swing or not get a good swing at you where he hits a ground ball or a fly ball someplace. That's getting him out. That's finishing him off.
Oh, lost him. So Trevor walks his second man. The Marlins have the leadoff man on here in the second inning. Marlins have, in their first 6 games all at home, have not been terribly offensive. They've only scored 15 runs, and in the 6 games they played, they have only 6 extra base hits.
Junior Felix is a guy that can really help them if he gets hot and gets started well. He was great last year at the beginning for the Angels before he got hurt. And he's capable of doing a lot of things. He has a lot of potential, as they say. He can hit with power, he can throw, and he can run. He can do everything on the baseball field. He just doesn't do it consistently.
That is very true. He reversed a career pattern. When he first came up, first couple of years, he was not a very good right-handed batter. Last year, he hit much better right-handed. Switch batter he is, as you might have deduced by now, but hit much better right-handed last year. In his American League days, he was also a great first-half player. He always start strong and seemed like he wore down.
And I don't know why, because he's a strong kid. He's not, a weakling. He's pretty strong.
Hits sharply. And Darren Lewis, nice adjustment, as that ball really had some giddy up on it off the bat of Lewis, or excuse me, off the bat of Felix, and Lewis hung with it and caught it.
Yeah, so he's real strong. He can drive the ball out of the ballpark, but that was a line drive and it just took off. And Lewis makes a fine play to keep it from going over his head. That's what happens with the winds of Candlestick, because they're swirling out there. It looks like they're blowing to right. The flags are blowing to right field, but that doesn't mean the wind is going that way. It's blowing to right field high above the stadium. But down inside the stadium, the winds often swirl, and you're really not sure which way they are blowing.
The one away here with Santiago still at first, and the batter is Rich Renteria. This is some kind of story. There's a 31-year-old veteran infielder. He's been a pro since 1980 and basically had just 2 very brief stints in the big leagues, one with Pittsburgh, one with Seattle. Was playing AAA ball in 1990 early in the year, and during batting practice apparently was not looking at a ball or something, and a line drive hit him right in the face and shattered his face. And to reconstruct his face with wire, he missed the entire 1990 season. Then went to Mexico and played the last 2 years in the Mexican League. His agent begged the Marlins up until late February just to get him an invite to camp. Nice stop, Benjamin. 1, 2, what a turn by Clayton and the Giants. Earned a marvelous double play.
It's a great diving stop by Benjamin. Clayton turns and fires to first base. Good double play.
2 in 2 innings helps Wilson.
So you're really giving all of this up?
Who knows what's right? All I know is how I feel. And I'm feeling I missed enough of Jenny's life already. I don't want to miss any more.
You guys gonna be okay on one salary?
Actually, our broker at Payne Liver made it a little easier. When she heard I was pregnant, she got us to start investing long term to give us more options down the road.
How'd she know you were thinking about all this back then?
I'm not sure I was. Until she asked.
His shot drilled, Irvay's save, back in behind the net. They try to jam it in. Irvay's up to it again. Here's Coffey. Irvay stops him again. Here it is in front. Just misses behind the net. Penalty, the first one is over. It's a one-man advantage for 50 seconds. Here's a shot from the point. Irvay blocks it again. Back to the near board. Sharp clear at the center.
Well, you want to see great baseball like we've seen here from the Giants in the field the first couple of innings. If you're not here at Candlestick, this is the place to do it with a lot of baseball this year, both A's and Giants right here on Sports Channel. But the free preview week, you're watching this game as part of the preview week. It's over Thursday. The Braves are here this weekend, so if you want to see the Giants and Braves, what you need to do is call that number to get Sports Channel unscrambled. If you're a cable subscriber, you need to get Sports Channel unscrambled to watch the baseball games. So, Joe, I think they ought to dial that number right away.
Yes, they should. I've ordered it already myself, but you have to remember that the professional sports are all scrambled on Sports Channel. Some of the other ones are not.
So the Warriors, Sharks, of course, during the winter, and the A's and Giants during the summer. So with baseball season coming up, make sure you call 1-800-926-SPORT. Now, Matt Williams' weekend took a much better turn midway through Saturday's game. He had 3 hits in his last 3 at-bats Saturday. Then yesterday had a home run off Tim Wakefield, which gave the Giants the eventual winning run, put him in front to start. And also had a sac fly for another run. Giants facing their 5th left-handed starter in 7 games. They'll see right-handers the next 2 days, but of course with Atlanta they're going to see a couple of left-handers this weekend.
And real left-handers.
And that's got to be Chris Hammond. Oh, there's a high throw, and Estrada came back down on the base. High throw from Renteria. But Estrada crossed the bag and was able to come back down and touch it. That's going to make Chris Hammond feel good, though, Joe, to get Williams like this on 2-0.
It's a nice fielding position. He got down low, had the glove out in front. Just a poor throw, but Estrada makes the play. Nice play by the first baseman.
Now facing Barry Bonds. If I'm Hammond, and he's not an overpowering pitcher, I fall behind Matt Williams 2-0. I get a little nervous.
And especially when you give him a fastball to hit. And it doesn't hurt you with it. You have to be happy.
Now the Giants yesterday won a ball game on the road in which Will Clark and Barry Bonds went 0 for 8 combined. That's an awfully nice sign. There's a strike. It's 2-1. Barry Telling Tom Hallion, did you see that award I got before the game?
That one was high.
That one's high. Deep right field. This has a chance. Gone. Home run, Barry Bonds. First at bat before the new hometown fans. And they want to see Barry again.
That was interesting. Hammond just continued to pitch Bonds inside, and I don't think you need to do that. I think he'll change next time.
It's not healthy.
Yeah, especially when Bonds is ahead in the count. It was 2 balls, 1 strike, and he came back inside with another fastball.
Ball 1 strike, 1 here to Clayton. For fear of beating it in the ground, I can't help but just marvel at the way Bonds drives the ball up lefties. That's the 4th extra base hit he's had. Both his home runs already have been off left-handers.
It's a fastball in, and he turns on it, and he knows it's gone right away. And I still can't believe that Santiago would continue to try to pitch him inside. You know, if you go away, in, back, and in, you know, it's okay. But every pitch he threw Bonds, and that at bat was inside. And I mean, Bonds is smart. He's not going to sit there and think away if you're pitching him inside. So he got the pitch he wanted, he drove it out. But you're right. I mean, I don't know if I've seen many left-handers who could drive the ball off left-handed pitching like he does. The only one that comes to mind for me would be Willie Stargell, but he drove it off of everybody.
Deep in the hole and by Weiss, and Royce Clayton continues his strong hitting. 3rd Giants hit. Well, he's really awakened here. He's answered the bell here the first 7 games with the bat.
Well, I think it was imperative that Clayton get off to a good start simply because he has not had a lot of success hitting in the major leagues, and they've taken him up and down in the minor leagues, so he needs to get off to a good start.
Batter Kurt Manwaring. And we have our first fan on the field.
I think you better hurry up and get back.
I think you get immunity when you sit in those executive VIP boxes down there. I think you're immune from all the.
Okay,
right?
because they do not allow that.
No, you get diplomatic immunity. And wearing 3 RBIs Saturday, did not play yesterday. Giants got a little bit of help on Chris Hammond. Of course, they've seen him before. He's 2-2 lifetime against the Giants, but they got some help from Jeff Reed, who was with Cincinnati the last couple of years and caught Hammond. Ooh, how about that move? Huh? Jeff Reed, brief report on Hammond was changeup being his best pitch.
Well, he throws a lot. He normally throws a lot of all-speed pitches, but he's used basically the fastball here against the Giants. There's another fastball.
That'll make the seats off Manwaring's bat. It's 0-2.
You have to also remember Hammond knows that Reed is over here with the Giants as well. And he knows that Reed is going to tell the Giants will look for a lot of changeups. So he's trying probably to go against that pattern and throwing more fastballs, because I have not seen many breaking balls or many changeups from Hammond so far in this ballgame. I was watching the signs. I don't know what that means, 4-1. Unless it's a 5, which would be another fastball. Yeah. Santiago's not using one sign. What he's doing is he's adding them. Say he puts down a 1 and a 4. That would be a fastball.
Shot there of Rene Latchman relaying signs. I can already tell in Florida that Latchman, Rene, one of the great baseball people, managed 2 teams in the American League earlier in his career, but he's learned a lot from Tony La Russa. Made 5 pitching changes in each of their first 2 games. Runner goes, and there's a high fly ball to left field. Conine drifting back, and he's got it on the track. Clayton back and wearing just missed it. You can see the excitement already. All those shirtless bleacherites out there were hoping they were going to get their first Suvi of the year.
Hammond went with the changeup then, and I think that's why Manwaring didn't hit it out. He had to supply all the power, and he didn't get quite all of it.
So they tell me this is a cold ballpark. Most people out there are getting tan. Bleacher seats might be popular just for that. Here's Benjamin at the plate. Robbie Thompson was examined by Dr. Campbell this morning, and the word is right now it's a tendonitis problem in his left forearm and wrist. Not sure it's day to day. Don't know if he'd be able to play as early as tomorrow, but fortunately nothing more serious than that. Bud Black's story a little different. It looks doubtful now that Buddy Black is going to make his scheduled start tomorrow for the Giants. That's driven to left field. That is gone, a home run. Mike Benjamin's first hit of the year, his 6th big league home run, and the Giants lead 3-0.
When I talked to Dusty Baker opening day, he said he wanted to get Benjamin in more often because he had swung the bat so well in spring training, and it had looked like he had really found himself. And then he had to sit for a long time, and now he's played the last 2 ball games. Maybe he's going to get a few more at bats after this. I'm wondering if the addition of those bleachers close to the wall has cut down the draft that comes from left field normally.
Here's Trevor Wilson into right center field. Can Carr get there? Yes! Oh, nice speed by Chuck Carr. Cut that ball off in the gap. That had extra bases written all over it. But the Giants play long ball. Mike Benjamin second, Barry Bonds first.
People are really confused because sometimes they get Sports Channel and sometimes they don't, and they can't figure out why.
It's really easy. If you have cable at your place, you'll automatically get Sports Channel.
But if you want to watch the Giants, A's, Warriors, or Sharks, you have to pay for extra coverage on Sports Channel.
It's really cheap, though. Something like 60 cents a game.
And for 60 cents a game, you'll get to see over 170 games of the A's, Giants, Warriors, and Sharks you can't see anywhere else.
Call now to order Sports Channel.
You want them to think, this is the last guy in the world I want to face. It's called intimidation.
On April 13, welcome the Marlins to the big leagues.
First 20,000 receive a one-of-a-kind commemorative pin.
Will Clark, Barry Bonds, Matt Williams, and the Giants take on the '92 National League champion Braves. Tune in Thursday at 7:30 for the Braves and the Giants, only on Sports Channel.
New ballpark, new dimensions, 2 big home runs, one by Benjamin, and I tried the new chicken fajita burrito this morning. Outstanding.
Well,
double thumbs up.
Because you recommended it, I tried it also. It was pretty good.
Oh,
You're
you
right.
did? How
Yeah.
you got down there?
You know, we were talking about the ball traveling here. I think with the bleachers, the ball may travel better to left field. Bonds didn't need any help. The ball always goes pretty well when you hit it like he did. We go to the 3rd inning. Walt Weiss leads it off for the Marlins. Walt Weiss, of course, familiar to Bay Area fans because he played for the A's all those years and was on their championship team. Grounded back to Wilson. One down. And as you've mentioned so often, this is a real inning. This is the inning that Trevor Wilson needs to make sure that he shuts down the Marlins. That's when your team goes out and takes a lead for you. You have to shut them down the next half inning.
Joe, this ball, neither of us thought this was going to go out.
No, I've seen a lot of balls hit better than that. At least I thought they were, and did not go out. But with the stands there, I believe that it shields the wind a little bit, and the ball went out. Especially it was a low line drive also. It wasn't a high fly ball. Here's Chris Hammond. He takes strike one. Hammond, of course, as we mentioned, came over to the Marlins from Cincinnati just before the season started. No balls, 2 strikes. And I was actually talking to Tony Perez the other day, and he was saying that they're missing some pitchers. And in fact, they just bought Bill Landrum up from minor leagues. Strike 3 as Trevor gets his first strikeout of the ball game. And the point he was making was we traded Hammond, and they're short on left-handers in the bullpen. They only have Greg Catteray in the bullpen.
And it's interesting, Joe, as you see that the wall out there also, especially in left field, straight left field, is 2 feet shorter than it was in prior years. And that may have helped Benjamin's ball a bit too. But why the Reds didn't really get anything back for him? That's what it's hard to figure out.
And now they're struggling trying to find a left-hander to go with Catteray. 1 ball to Chuck Carr. Chuck Carr single on the first pitch of the ball game, but he was erased on a double play off the bat of Brett Barbary. Giants lead 3-0. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Barry Bonds hit his 2nd home run of the season, and Mike Benjamin hit his 1st. Benjamin with a man on. The Giants are playing power ball today, all their runs coming on the home run. It's kind of what Dusty Baker likes. Lined in the center field. No. Caught by Benjamin. I thought he had another base hit, but it was lined right at the second baseman. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's the Giants 3 and the Marlins nothing.
Three is your lucky number in April.
Sports Channel is bringing you 3 Giants.
Here comes
And the Giants win it. 3 A's. Jerry Brown. And 3 Warriors games.
Tune in for Sports Channel's free preview week, April 7th through the 15th.
I suppose getting older has its drawbacks. Your hair starts to get thin. You can't stay up for the late show. And spicy foods, forget them. But it's not all bad. When you turn 55, Great Western will give you a checking account with no monthly service charges. That'll save you money. It'll make you feel good. So if you're 55, talk to Great Western Bank. They've got lots of ways to save on checking. I'm going to do it in about 10 years.
I've got a little problem with my Saturn. You see, it's not here. You can't see it because my son has it, in fact. I plan to let him have my other vehicle. I really didn't think he would take the Saturn because it's a 4-door vehicle. But that was the vehicle that he chose. Right here you have 2 things I miss an awful lot, actually. My son and my Saturn.
welcome the Florida Marlins tomorrow when they face the Giants at 1:05 to mark the first series between these two teams. The first 20,000 fans will receive a pin that commemorates the occasion, sponsored by Coca-Cola. Get your game tickets at all Bass Ticket Centers, including Tower Records, Video, or the Giants dugout stores. Willie McGee leads it off for the Giants here in the third. They lead 3-0. Giants have 3 runs on 4 base hits. The Marlins have no runs on 1 base hit. McGee grounded to first base his first time up. He grounds it to third base. Renteria throws him out, and Willie becomes the first out for the Giants here in the third inning. And that'll bring up Darren Lewis. Darren tried to bunt his way on in the first inning and was thrown out.
Well, I'll tell you, that parade of arms before the game brought back some memories, didn't it, Jim?
Yes.
Man, there's some names. John Bacabella.
Some real names out of the Giants' past. I thought that was a great idea as well, to bring them all back. First pitch to Lewis is high. Well, no, called a strike. He must still be on the airplane. There's Juan Marichal, one of the greatest pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball. Dominican dandy. The high kick. He was one of my favorite players when he first came to the major leagues, and then I had to face him all the time. That was kind of a chore. Off the fist and foul down the first baseline by Lewis. That's out of play.
Was he, was the leg kick itself intimidating? You see a guy just throw that leg up in the air like he did?
You know, I learned early on you had to eliminate the leg. Just look for a spot where he released the baseball, but you never knew where he was going to release it from. He'd throw sidearm, 3/4, and straight over the top. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Grounded off the mound, bounces up. Weiss's throw is in time. I think if the ball would have stayed down, wouldn't have hit the mound, Lewis would have had a base hit. You know what was great about Marichal is he used this ballpark. The wind blew straight out to right field, and he would throw his leg up high and then throw a big slow curveball, and it would get to the plate, the wind would grab it, and it would go straight down. It was unbelievable. He just had this ballpark under his spell. He knew how to use the wind and everything else here to his advantage. Great pitcher. Here's Will Clark. Will takes a breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike. Will had a single his first time up. He was trying to stretch it into a double and was thrown out at second base. Hammond seems to be hanging the breaking ball inside to the left-handers. He gets that one away. Good fastball on the outside corner. That's what got him in trouble with Bonds. You cannot pitch left-handers inside, especially if they're Will Clark and Barry Bonds. No balls, 2 strikes. Another breaking ball. This one was hanging on the inside part of the plate, and Will Clark fouled it off. To spoil it, you see the little smile there. He said, "You fooled me, but I fouled it off." Giants are leading 3-0. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Another fastball on the inside corner. Moves Will off the plate. You watch left-handers who do not throw real hard, and they have to move the ball around, and I don't see that from Hammonds yet. Hanging breaking ball, hit foul. Seems he's given the Giants too many pitches to hit, meaning they're up in the strike zone, in the middle of the plate, etc. You got to get the ball on the corner, or at least change some speeds a little better and get the ball down. Like that. Even though it's off the plate, you want to at least keep the ball down. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Inside. Matt Williams is on deck. Play Will Clark straight away. Breaking ball in the dirt for ball 4. That's kind of interesting there, Ted. That's, we talk about people protecting each other in the batting order. You would think that Matt Williams could protect Will Clark with him being a right-hander and a left-handed pitcher on the mound. But you see there, Hammond went with a 3-2 breaking ball. He wasn't about to give in to Will Clark. And that's the way I feel if they're ahead of Matt Williams or in a situation, they're not going to give in just because Barry Bonds is coming up next. It's like saying I'd rather for die with this poison rather than the other one. You make sure that you pitch to the hitter that you're facing and don't worry about the other one.
That's why everybody's been hammering on the point that Matt may be the key man to this team this year.
First pitch to Matt, breaking ball down and in for a ball. Matt grounded to third base his first time up.
Boy, I wish I could stay in here the next 3 innings to listen to 2 Hall of Famers talk.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Willie Mays is going to join me while you go back and do your radio stint.
Willie's looking good today.
And he was in a talkative mood, too. I watched him present Barry Bonds with his Most Valuable Player Award, and Willie went on for quite a while. 2 balls, no strikes to Matt. This was the same situation he had in the first inning. He got a fastball and pulled it down to third base. We'll see if Hammonds tries that again. No, he throws him a breaking ball off speed. May have been his changeup. Matt took it for strike 1.
Now both at bats, he's gone 2-0 to Matt Williams and gotten away with the 2-0 pitch.
Yeah. Well, especially the first time because he gave him a fastball. This time, at least, he made his pitch and got it on the inside corner. Santiago continues to look in the dugout. I don't know if he's looking to get the signs of what they want him to throw or whether they're looking to see if they want him to pitch out. I know they don't want him to pitch out. Throw over to first, and Clark is back easily. He's looking again. I don't know if someone there is calling signs. That's Renee Latchman, but you would think that Santiago's been around long enough to call his own pitches anyway. Hammonds is high with a fastball, and he also got away with a balk there. He didn't stop.
Again, Joe, that might be the La Russa influence on Latchman because Tony just really runs. He doesn't call the pitches, but he runs the game from the dugout.
And you see again, Santiago's looking over there. You know he's not looking for a pitch out, so it must be looking for pitches.
Unless they're calling throw to first or step off.
Yeah, maybe they're calling a throw to first because 3 balls, 1 strike, you're not looking for a pitch. You're not going to pitch out. Let's see what he does here. Fastball. If my addition is correct, anyway, that should be a fastball. There's Renee Latchman. He goes through the signs after every pitch. Will's not going. Fastball outside, ball 4.
Now, Joe, all of that preoccupation with Will Clark in a situation where he wasn't going to run, does that affect Hammond pitching to the batter?
I would think it does, and I would think it's not very smart. And even, like I say, to have to look over every pitch, you slow the rhythm of the game. The catcher gets in a rhythm of, going with the pitcher gets in a rhythm, and you break that rhythm. I've always felt that managers that try to control the game really disrupt their own team more than they do the opposition. And like you said, it's 3 balls, 1 strike. There's nothing to do but throw the ball to the plate. Will Clark's not going to go. If he goes, Santiago's going to throw him out if Matt Williams swings and misses. And you preoccupy yourself with the runner at first base, and you lose, your main responsibility. I've always said if you take any concentration away from the pitcher, obviously he's not giving you 100% to the hitter. That's Barry Bonds hitting his home run in the 2nd inning. And now he faces Hammond with runners at first and second and 2 down, and he starts him off with a breaking ball. Another breaking ball called a strike on the inside part of the plate. Changeup swung on and fouled at home plate. Haven't seen him throw many changeups to the left-handers, but he threw one there and had Bonds off balance. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Will Clark at second, Matt Williams at first. The Giants are leading 3-0. Hit hard right at the second baseman. Barbary throws Bonds out, so the Giants leave a couple here in the third, but we've completed 3 full. It's the Giants 3 and the Marlins nothing.
It's the way we make you feel that makes people fly British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
Get your blood pumping. Hers too. Unless, of course, you stink. You don't have to if you use an Old Spice, because the pump's concentrated, and it puts more power on your pit than the leading aerosol deodorant. So it works. Big time. The proof?
Save your string.
She's all I need.
The pump from Old Spice.
Don't let the size fool you. Give it a shot.
For great odor protection, demand proof, not promises.
3-0 Giants as we go to the 4th inning, and joining me here in the booth to do the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning is the greatest player who's ever lived, Willie Mays, and we're fortunate to have you with us today. Willie, I saw you present Barry Bonds with his Most Valuable Player Award, and you're his godfather. How did that feel for you?
Well, I think it felt very proud, at least I felt very proud, Joe, because he's coming from Pittsburgh. He's coming to a new surrounding here, and I think the people have accepted him very, very well, you know, and it was very good to see him hit the home run, because now they get into him. They got a little saying out there, Barry Bonds squad, you know, all those little things make a player feel very well.
You know, that's interesting. You say the fans have accepted him, which it does seem like it, but they didn't accept you right away coming from New York, because you've made your name there in New York.
I might have had too many home runs. That might have been. I don't know.
I remember when you first came here. You know, I was obviously thrilled that you were here, but it took a while for you to win over the fans. But once you did, they were like the New York fans.
I think when you come to a new surrounding, if you keep your mouth closed and go out and play, I think that's really the key behind playing baseball in a new surrounding.
Brett Barbary leads it off for the Florida Marlins here in the 4th inning. There's number in right field, Willie Mays, number retired out there with Juan Marichal, Willie McCovey, and Christy Mathewson in the right field side. Trevor, go ahead.
Excuse me, Joe. I think it's a great feeling when you can pick up guys off of a new surrounding. I know, I guess when Montreal came in the league, we lost about 3 or 4 good players to an expansion ball club, and now what is happening now, every club is doing that. They're losing their first, maybe 25th, 24th man off their roster, which they needed. We did.
Yeah.
We lost Feldman, we lost Corey Snyder, which we could use right now.
I agree with you. 3 balls, 1 strike. Trevor Wilson had a little problems in the first inning, got in trouble, got out, and he's had a double play in each of the first 2 innings to bail him out of any potential trouble. And he's about to walk the leadoff hitter, and he does so here in the 4th inning. We're going to take a look at one of the greatest catches that we think you ever made. You have to grade him yourself.
Well, this is a play here on a Saturday afternoon against your club, Cincinnati.
Yeah, I saw it.
The ball, I was no problem catching. It was that Bobby need me as I'm coming down. If they replay that over and kind of slow it down a little bit, you can see when I'm coming down, I have the ball.
Yeah.
It's just when I come down, he needs me in my stomach. That's really what knocked me out. The ball didn't bother me.
But I tell you what, the thing that gets me, you were seeking the ball. I mean, you came flying in from center field. And just made a great catch, one of many, I might add. Here's the first pitch to Conine. He fouls it off. Conine drew a base on balls his first time. Let's take a look again.
Here we go again. If you look at it closely, Bobby is not going to jump. He jumped just a little bit. I'm over him. I catch the ball right here. And as I'm coming down, look at his left knee. See that left knee need me right in the stomach?
Yeah.
That's really what I knocked myself out there.
1 strike to Conine, throw over to first base, and Barbary is back. Let me ask you a question. I've heard other people ask you this question. What do you think is the greatest catch you've ever made?
I think the greatest one I think I made in 1951 off of Bobby Morgan. It was a type of play in the 10th inning, bases loaded.
The ball hit it in the gap. I stretched out off the ground, caught the ball in one glove, hit the fence, all in the same motion, knocked myself out. And when I came to, the first two guys I remember looking at was Leo and Jackie Robinson.
Oh, okay.
That was the best catch that I felt because I'm in the air. There's nothing to do but catch the ball, you know, and plus the wall was there.
Well, that makes it more important. When the wall is there, that's an added
You
element.
probably wasn't born there, so.
Yes, I was. But, you know, most people obviously talk about the catch you caught, you know, you've made against Big Words, but you've told me before that wasn't the greatest catch. It just happened to be in the spotlight.
Yeah, that was a World Series catch.
Yeah, and everything is magnified in the World Series, of course, because so many people are watching. But again, you know, I'm sure that you've made so many great catches. Someone else will probably disagree with you about that. Say that, no, I saw one even better than that.
Joe, this kid Trevor is pitching today. Is probably one of the hardest working pitchers that I've seen around, but he gets on himself a lot. And you can tell right here that a lot of times when he throw balls, especially in a club like this, nobody knows. You have to play him maybe one or two times to find out what's going on, but he's truly an amazing kid. He wants the ball every day. And that's good for you.
Well, you got to know a lot of these guys probably a lot better even than before this year because you spent a lot of time in spring training and you seem to be more involved this year.
This is the first time that I really, really enjoyed spring training, Joe, because I was able to work with kids not only on the major league level but the minor league level. I had a kid come to me.
Live ball to right field.
I had a kid come to me with Calvin Murray, I guess, from Texas. And he said, I want to learn how to play the outfield. Well, you know how I feel. It feels such good to me that to have a kid like that come to me, not a friend, and saying, I want to learn baseball. And I was there every day at 8 o'clock in the morning teaching this kid. Now he's going to San Jose, and hopefully I have time to go down there and work with him again.
Well, I'm good. That's great. I mean, you said it makes you feel good. Can you imagine how it makes Calvin Murray feel to have you teaching him or even spending the time with him, you know, in spring training?
He's a very quick learner.
Here's Orestes Estrada. He, like Cecil Fielder, spent time in Japan, and he's coming back to play in the major leagues. And Florida's hoping they may then get half of what they get from Cecil Fielder. They'll be happy with Estrada. You know, you talk about spring training. I was only there one day, and when I came in, you were having a great time. You were sitting there talking, hitting with some of the young players, and even some of the pitchers were sitting there learning, you know, about hitting. So I just knew that you were having a good time this year just by the way that, you know.
What was happening this year, too, Joe, is that they're beginning to talk baseball. And talking baseball sometimes makes you learn about the game. I would bring my stats to the ballpark and let them look at it. And now they question me on different things. So we had a good time doing things that I enjoyed doing other than just going to the ballpark every day.
And the 1-1 pitch inside. Estrada has led the Japanese league 3 times in home runs. So no doubt about his power, but you played in Japan, and I haven't played there, but I've been over there, and the parks are a lot smaller than they are here in the major leagues.
The ballparks are smaller. The pitches are not that great over there. When I went over there, I think we played about 18 games. I hit 19 home runs in 18 games. And
check swing, blooper to second base. They'll get one at second, back to first, not in time. That was a good play by Benjamin to make sure they got one, and they forced Barbary at second base. But the throw back to first base was not in time. And so now Benjamin makes sure of one. He gives a good throw to Clayton.
This is a good kid to have around Benjamin I'm talking about, Joe, because he can play short, third, and second. And when you can see a kid like that make the double play, comes in from shortstop and then go to second, I think you should keep a kid like him. Plus, he's still young and he's still learning.
Well, that's interesting because, you know, there were a lot of people who didn't feel that the Giants should have protected him, you know, in the expansion draft or whatever. But I think he's proven that he deserves to be here. And I think he seems like, I haven't been around him that much, but he seems like he has a more positive attitude about himself now than he had before. It looks like he feels that he can.
What is happening with Benji is that he knows what his job is all about. That means he knows he's going to come to the ballpark. If someone needs to play a position, he can play. He have the type of attitude that if, hey, I'm not playing today, I go out and run. I do my job. I think that's what is happening so far, just watching him. He plays short a couple of days when Clayton is out, and now he's at second when Robbie's out. So when you can have guys on your ball club that are positive thinkers, you have a good ball club.
Yeah. What do you think about the new ballpark here, the changes?
If I had this ballpark,
yeah, that's what
you're looking at another 100, maybe 110, right around that area, a little more.
We're talking home runs, of course.
Yeah, I'm talking home runs.
That's all you ever talk.
Yeah, I don't want to talk anything else. No, I like defense. Yeah. I think that was one of my strengths is defense. I love that.
Well, looking at this ballpark, as you mentioned, it was 50 feet further. You had to hit the ball, especially your first year here. But I was thinking that with the bleachers in there now, line drives seem to go out quicker.
Yeah.
If you don't get it high in the air.
It's because it's covered, Joe. You look at it. This is a bowl now. When I came in, we had a half shake. And all that center field line there was all open. Not only was it open, the bleachers was a home run. So I had to hit the ball in the bleachers. Now, the ball that was hit today for a home run
would have been caught.
Was caught very easy,
3 balls, no strikes to Santiago. And he takes ball 4. And now that puts runners at first and second for the Marlins. And Dusty Baker is going to make a visit to the mound along with Will Clark and Kurt Manwaring. I think Dusty's got to work on his trot there, Will.
Well, you don't get them too bad.
That's all in good fun.
This is the first year, and I myself am very proud of Dusty. I know there's a lot of people saying, well, he haven't had the time to go down and learn baseball. Dusty knows baseball.
Yes, he
and
does.
If he doesn't have the players, I don't care how good you are, you're not going to win.
Well, I did the opening day game, and I thought that was the best managed game I'd ever seen by a rookie.
Yeah.
This is the catch we were talking about, of course, in the 54 World Series against Vic Wertz.
Well, this is 1954, and this is the catch that everybody talk about. You know, when I see this, Joe, I wonder, I say to myself, did I hit any home run? Did I make another catch anywhere along the line?
That's all you ever see when they talk about Willie Mays.
I said, wait a minute. And I don't want to say nothing because, they play it all the time, and you're in the spotlight all the time, so why knock it? So I said to myself, this is the only thing I ever did in baseball? What else did I do?
Well, the Marlins have runners at first and second. Junior Felix is the hitter. He had a hard line drive to center field that was caught by Darren Lewis his first time up. Giants are leading 3-0. The Marlins are threatening here in the top of the 4th inning. The Giants' runs came on 2 home runs, one off the bat of Barry Bonds, a solo homer. The other 2 runs came in on a home run by Mike Benjamin.
It's a very hard ball club to play, too, Joe, especially when ball clubs are starting. You don't know what's going on too much. And a lot of times it takes you 3 or 4 times to play them to see what, each guy can do.
Well, that's exactly right, knowing if you have to pitch a guy inside or outside or whatever, so it does make a big difference.
Santiago, they know pretty much. He played on San Diego a little bit.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Inside, and it's 2-1. How's your golf game?
Look good. My golf game. Joe, this year I haven't played golf as much as I really wanted to because in spring I was going to play every day. But when you get into the kids in spring training or get into the guys, they want you around all the time. And I really haven't had time to play golf, and I really didn't want to play because, again, I was more happy just doing something there. And I think I'm going to play a little more during the summer, but I don't have time to play right now.
All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runners at first and second.
Watching Barry from here, it looks like he's playing mighty close in. But you know what that tells me, Joe? He's got more confidence in going back and catching the ball than a lot of guys. He's going to catch that ball that over the infield, but the ball that's going back to the wall, seems to say, I got that too. So, I don't know.
Ground ball in the hole, cut off by Matt Williams. He goes to second in time, and Trevor gets out of this small jam, but after 3.5, it's the Giants 3 and the Marlins nothing.
I want all of thinking done when I'm in the on-deck circle, and by the time I get into the batter's box, I'm prepared to just basically hit the baseball.
Well, I have to know what my job is when I get up to the plate.
Well, sure. I think you have to get butterflies or you're not excited about playing the game.
Sports Channel on deck. The Bay Area's only nightly newscast devoted entirely to baseball. 7 nights a week at 7 o'clock.
Lisa's great, but there's something about Sharon. Sharon's okay, but Lisa, whew, what a knockout.
Why is the grass always greener on the other side?
You lucky dog. Lucky dog.
Why ask why? Try a less filling beer with a lot more taste. Bud Dry. It's one thing.
Nice.
That's beyond question.
You own some Zadcor, right? Think I should sell it?
I got out weeks ago, right after my broker's firm downgraded the stock. Now don't tell me that your broker's still hollow.
Who knows? I use a discount.
A discounter? What do you think? It's just because you know how to make money, you know how to invest it?
Well, I just thought that, you know...
I've got a terrific guy over at Payne Weber. Call him.
Come on, how's some broker going to know what's right for me?
Go ask.
Sparks will fly this Friday night when the Giants take on the Braves in a 7:35 contest. Then following the game, look to the skies for a fantastic fireworks display to celebrate the beginning of a new era of Giants baseball in San Francisco. Don't miss this show, sponsored by Safeway. Get your game tickets at Candlestick Box Office and at all Bass Ticket Centers. Well, we go to the 4th inning. Royce Clayton will lead it off for the Giants. Clayton had a single and scored on Mike Benjamin's home run in the 2nd inning. The Giants have 4 base hits. The Marlins have 1. Hammonds throws, and Clayton hits it off the end of the bat to left field. And that's out number 1.
What I think, too, Joe, is about the ball club is Dusty is letting everybody play, and I think a lot of times when you have a young ball club like this, they're going to make mistakes, and Dusty seems to be living with their mistakes right now, and especially with Clayton. I think he's learning as he go along, and I think the more you stick with a kid like that, I think he's going to pay dividends for you.
I agree with you. You know, if I had one thing, which, you know, if I was going to talk to Clayton, which I'm an announcer, I really don't, but I think about these things, is he seems to want to hit the ball out of the ballpark too much at this stage of his career. I think when you're a young player, you have to learn the pitchers, learn which pitches you can try to, you know,
we talked about that in spring training, and what I was talking to him about is moving the ball around. You got your 3rd, 4th, and 5th hitters for that with the home runs. He just supposed to move the ball and drive in 40 or 50 runs, then you got a good shortstop. He's not grown yet.
Exactly.
He's still growing, and I know when I was 25, I didn't hit a lot of home runs, but as I grew a little bit, I began to get the ball over the fence a little bit. So I think he's got to learn exactly what you said, move the ball around, and then start popping the ball.
Exactly. That would be the one thing I would say to him. But again, you know, like you say, they're young, and it takes a while for them to eliminate mistakes and know themselves at the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike to Manwaring. Inside again, and it's 3-1. Manwaring hit a fly ball to left field his first time up.
You know, one thing we never talked about, Joe, is Gaylord Perry.
Yeah.
Gaylord Perry, you play again? Yeah. Gaylord Perry is not on the board here, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And I asked him, and I thought he went in as a Texas Ranger, but he went in as a Giant.
He did.
So why is he not here?
I know, you know, I was at the induction ceremonies when he went in.
Yeah, I was there.
He was a Giant. Yeah.
So why he's not on the board?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to...
Well, I'm just asking questions.
No, I agree with you. And I think it's a very good question. I think it's a valid question.
Wouldn't that be more of a Giants that we have on the board? That wouldn't that bring our status out a little bit as far as people, you know?
And especially since the fact he chose to go in as a San Francisco Giant.
With all the teams he's been on.
Exactly. He could have gone in with, you know, the Yankees or someone else.
Anybody.
Yeah, but I agree with you. Yeah. 3 balls, 2 strikes, ball 4.
Reggie said, I'm going in as a Yankee.
Yeah, well, Reggie was, you know, Reggie was thinking about business. And now Reggie works for the Yankees.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, he was thinking business when he made his decision. I think Gaylord was thinking with his heart. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's a little difference there.
My wife asked me one day, what are you laughing at? And I said, well, did you see what Reggie just did? So she said, oh, wow, I remember now. Yeah.
Here's Mike Benjamin. He hit a 2-run home run his first time up. give the Giants a 3-run lead. He and Barry Bonds. High fastball, ball 1. You know, I was going to ask, that was going to be my next question. I was going through the order. I was going to ask you about Orlando Cepeda.
Yeah.
You know, because I mentioned last night on my broadcast with ESPN that I thought he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's difficult for people to realize what he actually did. I mean, he was the most valuable player in the league. He had a 290-plus lifetime average.
Yeah, but you know, Joe, I think what the people sometimes look at, they look at the mistakes. He made one mistake, okay? Yeah. And they're going to take the whole life of what he did in baseball with that mistake. Yeah. Now you got to remember, Ferguson Jenkinson made the same mistake, and he is in the Hall of Fame. So we got to stop that a little bit. You know?
And I don't want to, you know, cast doubt on other people, but, you know, Reggie had a problem, the same type of problem.
Earlier.
Yeah, earlier, exactly. So,
very well.
and I just don't think that, you know, and I'm not saying this because Cepeda's a Giant or whatever, but because I was a big fan of Cepeda. I think Cepeda's one of the nicest people I've ever met. You know,
not only was he a nice guy, he was a good hitter, Joe.
Yeah,
I played with him many times. He didn't walk McCovey to get to Cepeda.
Good point. And I really think that you're right that, you know, you make one mistake. He's made the one mistake, and it seems to be just carrying over and over with it.
But I think that's turn around. I think really turn around.
Well, it needs to turn around this year simply because if he goes into the old-timers group,
then he may
never know what's going to happen. Ball 4 to Mike Benjamin. And now the Giants have runners at first and second with 1 down, and Trevor Wilson will be the hitter. You know, I'll give you an example. Reason I say it needs to happen this year. Nellie Fox, who was, you know, my idol as a kid, he had a 74.6, and you need 75%, you know, for induction. His last year of eligibility, and he has never been elected by the old-timers committee. I mean, he was 1 vote short, and he's never been elected.
Cepeda was 2 votes short.
Yeah, see, I mean,
you know, that's too close to keep a guy out.
There you see the Marlins getting someone up in their bullpen, but they have runners. The Giants have runners at first and second now with 1 down. Trevor's going to try to bunt. He bunts it out in front of the plate. Santiago's only play will be to first base, and the sacrifice works. As the runners move up, good bunt by Trevor Wilson because Santiago was out there in a hurry. And watch how quickly Santiago gets out there.
He's out there in a hurry, Joe. This kid right here can catch.
Yes.
And he can throw. And I think he went to a ball club where he knew that he was going to catch every day regardless of what happened. You know, so he made his own choice. Here's a kid right here, McGee. He's having more fun than I've seen him have it in 10 years, Joe.
That's a good point.
He knows he's going to play every day. He knows that when he comes to the ballpark, someone's going to talk to him.
And he, you know, and Willie's a quiet guy. He kind of needs that reassurance.
He's opened up a lot this year,
and that's
Joe.
good.
Oh, yeah. I was there. He's been doing very, very well.
Runners at second and third, 2 down. The Giants are leading 3-0. Big opportunity here for Willie to drive in a couple more runs. He takes a strike.
I was watching you and Chris Miller the other night. He's my favorite guy.
Oh, John, you mean?
John Miller, yeah. Oh, he's my favorite guy.
He's funny.
He's funny.
He is funny.
You don't know to laugh sometimes. I'll just say, wait a minute, John, hold on.
I do the same thing in the booth. Sometimes I want to laugh, but I say, well, John, wait a minute. Yeah. Hold on a second there.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Giants home opener here at Candlestick Park. Willie grounds it to third base. Renteria across the diamond, and Hammonds wiggles out of a jam, and the Giants go down here in the 4th inning. But after 4 full, it's the Giants 3 and the Marlins nothing.
I guess I was the first one in the area to buy a new Saturn. In fact, I loved it so much and bragged about it so much that my brother-in-law, Vincent, he bought one. And then my brother Pete, he bought one. Pete's son, Michael, he got one too. And my daughter down in North Carolina, she bought one. My barber Joe, he's got one too.
You notice he don't have a picture of mine because mine's nicer.
You bought the identical car. Same color and everything.
We know we see all the men you have to be, just how much you give, all the lives you live.
From
Gillette sensor technology comes the Gillette Series, shaving, aftershave, and deodorant products to help a man look, feel, and be his best. The Gillette Series. With Gillette sensor, it's redefining men's grooming.
It's the way we make you feel that makes people fly British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
Sports Channel's free preview week continues when the Golden State Warriors host David Robinson and the San Antonio Spurs. Tune in Wednesday at 7 o'clock for our pregame show, followed by tip-off at 7:30, only on Sports Channel, and it's all free this week on Sports Channel. But, hey, there he is. Franklin Muley, who was the former owner and still part owner, I guess, of the Golden State Warriors. And a real big Giants fan. There you see him talking to Juan Marichal. He and Willie McCovey are big buddies. Go back a long way. That's Juan Marichal.
They wanted me to go in the stands like that. I don't think I can.
No, you better.
I told them I couldn't go in the stands like that.
You're better off up here with me anyway. Off the fist to third base, Matt Williams charges. And Renteria is out for the first out here in the 5th inning for the Marlins. Walt Wise will be the hitter. There's the mayor of San Francisco. And we saw recently in the paper where he's forming a committee to try to get a downtown ballpark.
Well, I hope I'll be around. I don't know what's going on there.
I hear you. Well, hopefully we can get something done this time.
Yeah.
Here's Walt Wise. One down. Giants are leading 3-0. We're in the 5th inning. High with a fastball is Trevor Wilson.
I like to say, too, Joe, this is one of the special occasion opening day that I've been to in a long time. More excitement going on, things going on that the players want to get out and play. So it was just exciting just to see what's all these things, going on at one time. And I think it went on very well.
I do, too. There's no doubt that there's a new, I don't like to use the word new attitude. I think there's new atmosphere here at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Because, I don't want to ever sound like I'm saying anything against Bob Leary, because I think Bob Leary still deserves, to be patted on the back by the people of San Francisco.
Bob Leary never asked for money. He asked for a ballpark.
Right.
There is a difference between bringing up money, and I think Bob was the type of guy who he just want to be involved in sports. And I know when I first came back, he said, "Willie, go out and do what you want to do and enjoy yourself." And to me, that was a good sign of a good man.
Well, my point is, I don't want to, when I'm complimenting the new people, I don't want people to take that as I'm downing the old people who were here, because that's not true. I'm just complimenting the new people for what they have done.
No, I don't think it's the owners. I think it's the people, Joe. When they realized they were going to lose a ball club, they started rallying around something that maybe nobody had no control over. That's no one individual involved there.
Ball 4 to Walt Wise, and that is the fourth base on balls issued by Trevor Wilson. The 5th, actually, is giving up 5 walks and only 1 base hit. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Marlins. Hammonds is being removed, and Monty Ferris is going to hit. I saw Monty Ferris as a young kid, Willie, and, as an announcer, I was just starting out. I was announcing college baseball for ESPN, and I made a statement, and it bothered the kid. I said, that he's kind of tall to be a shortstop. He's 6'4" or whatever. And I didn't know, that people, would take it that way. And I mean, some of his teammates came to me and told me he was all upset because I said that he wouldn't.
If he stop and think, Cal Ripken.
Right.
Marty Marin.
And I didn't say he couldn't be. I just said he was kind of tall to be a shortstop.
Well, they always thought. You don't see a lot of tall shortstops.
No,
Ernie Banks was short.
Right.
Rizzuto.
Well, most
Pee-wee.
Well, you need to be quick and have quick feet, and that's usually, not what tall people are noted for. And I just made a statement. I didn't mean it, to hurt the kid, and obviously it did. But now, you know, he's made it to the major leagues, and I'm happy for him, although he's not a shortstop.
He forgive you.
Right, okay. Now he does, I'm sure. Huh?
Yeah.
We had to look at Richie Lewis in the bullpen. Richie Lewis is also someone I've called games for at the College World Series. I think he was going to Texas at the time. Low, and the count's 2 balls and no strikes. And I mentioned Trevor's already walked 5 hitters, and he's fallen behind here 2-0.
This is what happened in spring too, Joe. A lot of times when he gets mad at him, he gets mad at himself. And if you see what's going on here, he's not mad at the player or anything. He's mad because he cannot get the ball over the plate, and he knows that he's got to do that to win.
2 balls, no strikes, 1 down, runner at first. Strike on the inside part of the plate. In fact, when I remember watching Monty Ferris, you know, in the College World Series, he was known for his bat anyway rather than his glove. And now, you know, they've moved him to the outfield now, and
he looks strong.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's...
Well, he is strong. He hits the ball hard. He's away with a fastball, and it's 3-1.
Sometimes you look at guys in college, Joe, with the aluminum bats sometimes, and they hit balls so far. And then they come up here and you use the wood, it becomes a warning strike ball player. You know, it takes a little while. Will Clark or Matt Williams, they've taken them 3 years to try and get into the major league, you know, level. So everybody goes through that. You know. Take yourself, for instance, when you was at Houston, you didn't hit home runs.
No.
When you went to Cincinnati, your whole game changed.
Yeah, but Willie, the Astrodome was too big for me.
Well, you had little Jimmy Wynn.
Yeah, but it was too big for me. Here's a 3-1 pitch, called strike 2, and the count goes full 3-2.
We didn't let you hit the home run when I played. I said, pitch him outside. He can carry out here. They said, no, he can't. He can carry out, man.
You know, it's funny. You know, I gave you a copy of my book, and Willie Stargell was saying, and one of the things I wrote in there, he said, first time they had a meeting in Pittsburgh with me, you get a look at it. 3-2 pitch, strike 3, throw to second base.
Good play.
And the Giants have now completed 3 double plays to get Trevor Wilson out of a jam. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm sorry. The Giants are leading 3-0.
Dave takes off on a big fishing trip. Doesn't even invite me. So I go shopping. Hope he likes it.
Super Lotto. It could happen to anybody.
We knew something was up. The foreman wanted to see us right away. They say nobody wins the lottery? Oh, yeah?
Super Lotto. It could happen to anybody.
You see, this is a list of things I had to do on Monday. This one is everything I had to do on Tuesday, plus what I didn't get done on Monday. Wednesday's list is ridiculous. Thursday's hopeless, and here it is Friday. But things are looking up, because the one thing that I really need to do is go to the bank. And I can do that tomorrow, because Great Western is open Saturday. Even I don't need a list to remember that.
Sports Channel packs your weekend with action from the Giants and defending National League champion, the Atlanta Braves. But our free TV preview week will be over. To make sure you don't miss any of this weekend's games, call 1-800-926-SPORT now and order Sports Channel. I got tricked on my Sports Channel, Willie. I was watching a game, and I thought I automatically had it because I was watching a college game. But then when the pro game came on, it clicked off. Scrambled. I had to call and order it. So all you fans at home, don't get tricked like I did.
You don't have a satellite? You have a satellite.
No, I don't have a satellite.
I'm going to give you one if you don't have one.
You heard that. All you fans heard what Willie said. He's going to give me a satellite.
I'm going to give you a satellite, right? So that way you have no problem.
I'll call you tomorrow and remind you.
You have to pay for the hookup.
That's all right. I can handle that.
Can you pay that?
I can handle that. I can handle that.
Well, so we can order Sports Channel for you.
Richie Lewis is the new pitcher, and Darren Lewis will lead off against him here in the Giants' bottom half of the 5th inning. Foul back out of play.
Here's another kid, George, Darren Lewis, have learned to accept his role. He's a platoon player. He knows that he's not going to play every day, and I think that's a good sign of a growing-up kid. He's only about 25, and he's done a wonderful job.
And he's a good defensive center fielder.
Yes. Yeah.
He bunts one. If it stays fair, it would have been a base hit, but it goes foul. He tried to bunt in the 1st inning, but he didn't get it close enough to the line. This time he gets it too close. Now it counts 2 strikes. As I was saying, Richie Lewis, I had him in the College World Series as well. I'm told by Glenn Kuiper that he was at Florida State. I thought he might have been at Texas. I couldn't remember, but I remember him throwing a good fastball and throwing a lot of sliders. Final totals on Hammond: 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 base on balls. Didn't strike out a hitter and gave up 2 home runs. And the 0-2 pitch, slider hangs inside, 1 and 2.
You know, what I like about Bobby Bonds this year in spring training, he had all the guys out bunting, which I don't think I ever could bunt, but every guy, every morning at 8 o'clock, 8:15, they were there, and that's a good sign of togetherness.
Right.
And I think they're learning how to bunt much better than they did 2 or 3 years ago. You know, not that they didn't have the bunting, skill to do it. You know.
Yeah, but there's no doubt if you practice it.
Practice, you get it better. You know.
There's Willie McGee. He was also out.
He was out there
working on it as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no one out. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Giants 3 and the Marlins nothing. That's Barry Bonds' father, Bobby, at first base. Slider, and Santiago wanted that pitch. Tom Hallion says it's low. Yeah, Bobby was out there with those guys you were talking. That's what you were saying, that he was out with McGee and Lewis. Those guys working on their bunting.
I think Bobby
hit hard down the 3rd. Renneria over to first base.
I think Bobby is just a special guy when it comes to hitting and fielding and base running. A lot of people don't realize how great a ball player he was. Just because Barry is coming along, and but in my opinion, Bobby could beat him running. I think you're talking about playing outfield. You can play the outfield very well, and you're talking about power.
Yeah,
he had a lot of power.
Look, I've said several times the last couple of years that Bobby Bonds is still the best player in the Bonds family.
Yes.
I still believe that.
Yeah.
Here's Will Clark. Off-speed pitch, ball 1.
He's going to get on me before that now.
No,
Barry's going to bury Will now.
I've already said it a couple of times anyway. You know what I find amazing as we look at the 1 ball, no strike pitch. One of the other things about Bobby, all the places he's been as far as hitting it as a hitting instructor, the team has always done better when he was there than they did after he left.
Cleveland
especially. Yeah. And Texas. Here's the 1-1 pitch.
He also hit very well when he went to different clubs as a player. 25 and 30 home runs. So he did very well. I remember playing in, I don't know if it's New York, one-legged he hit 30 home runs, and he couldn't hardly run.
You don't have to run in the American League, though, Will.
I haven't played, though. Everybody say that the American League is another league.
All you got to do is you can be a DH and just hit. Don't run, don't do anything.
Yeah. Well, see, that would bother me.
It did bother me. That's why
I would want a defense. I like to get out there and get in the dirt a little bit.
Well, I only played 1 year. I didn't play that. I wasn't a DH, but I just didn't like the system.
Yeah. I don't know if I could sit over there for 4 innings. Oh, good ball.
Hit hard in the right field, moving over on the run and getting there in time is Junior Felix. Will hit it hard, but he hit it right at Felix in right center.
Yeah, Will is beginning to pull the ball more, George, this year than I saw him last year.
And he needs to, because last year he was just flaring the ball to left field. He wasn't taking a normal Will Clark swing.
I agree.
He's been hitting in tough luck so far this year. I remember I saw him in Pittsburgh last Friday, and he was telling me about all the balls he hit hard in St. Louis that were caught, and he continues to swing the bat well, but not getting a lot to pay.
Well, if you swing it well, they will fall sometimes. They're going to fall.
I've always harkened back to something Dick Grote told me when people tell me that. Here's Matt Williams. He hits it hard right at the shortstop. Walt Wise over to first. The tag is made by Destrada at first base, and Matt Williams goes down, and so do the Giants. They go 1, 2, 3 for the first time in this ball game. And after 5 1/2, after 5 full, it's the Giants 3 and the Marlins nothing.
Hi, I'm Barry Bonds, and you can watch us on Sports Channel.
And he slides in. Take a look at it. Incredible. He's going to be a base. Thrown out over the ball. Got away. Number 1,000. You did in New York. That's one. And here comes. And the Giants win it.
Call now to order Sports Channel.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Desonex. Do not stall. Desonex intercepts athlete's foot before it turns ugly. Killing those grungy fungi before they get cracking and burning. There's a can at the store with your salvation in it. Come get it, or else don't claim Desonex. And for jock itch, Cruex is the #1 cure. Cruex kills jock itch fungus.
Presenting the RCA 52-inch projection screen home theater. It's bigger and brighter than almost anything out there.
Bring the kids to Candlestick this Sunday afternoon for Giants baseball. They face the Braves at 1, and it's photo ball day. The first 20,000 kids will receive a free baseball with a photo of a Giants player on it, courtesy of Chevron. Game tickets are available by calling 510-762-BASS or visit your nearest Bass Ticket Center. Well, we go to the 6th inning. Trevor Wilson all the way for the Giants. He's allowed the Marlins only 1 base hit, but he has given up 5 bases on balls. And the Giants are leading by a score of 3-0. Mike Jackson is up and throwing in the Giants bullpen as we start the 6th inning. Off the fist, behind the plate, Manwaring chasing, and he can't make the catch. He made his slide, but he wasn't able to hang on to it.
You know, I think if he'd have stayed up, Joe, he'd had a better chance of catching the ball, because once he hit the ground, the ball seemed to bobble a little bit. Let's go here. Now watch him jump down.
Yeah.
If he'd have stayed up, he'd have had a chance of catching the ball, because he actually overran the ball. See the ball is coming down behind him a little bit. But a good try, though.
Yeah, good try, but
Very good
you're
try.
exactly right. Chuck Carr is singled and hit a line drive to the second baseman. He is 1 for 2 in this ball game. Again, the Marlins only have 1 base hit, but they've had 5 bases on balls, which have put a lot of runners on. The Giants have retaliated by turning 3 double plays to bail Trevor Wilson out of a couple of jams. Off the fist as he tried to check his swing.
This is what a pitcher likes. Knocked down, here he comes.
Let me ask you a question about who do you think, and excluding Willie Mays, of course, the players, and we'll just say nationally, the players you played against, who do you think was who was the second best player you ever saw?
I would say Roberto Clemente.
Okay.
And I have to throw Robinson in there, Frank Robinson.
Right.
I think Frank Robinson was downplayed because he played for Cincinnati, didn't get the press. But Roberto Clemente, I felt, could do just about everything. And
Rounded a shortstop.
And I think he hit with, you're talking about power. Well, he hit 25, 26 home runs a year. He hit 360, 370 every year. And the reason I think he wasn't a home run hitter, because today's standard, 25 home runs or 30 home runs is a power hitter.
Yeah, but in those days it was.
You got to hit more than that.
Yeah,
to play on the ball club, you know.
Yeah.
So I would take him, the guys that I played in the National League with.
Well, that was interesting because I've heard several other people say the same thing, that they thought he was the second best player. You know, I played against him, a few years, and obviously I thought he was a great player too.
I had it when he was 18 down in Puerto Rico in 1954 when I played there. He just couldn't catch a ground ball. So
he was an infielder?
No, he was a left fielder.
Oh, left fielder. He couldn't catch a ground ball.
He couldn't catch a ground ball. So, but he could throw, and he could hit, and he could run.
Yeah, he could definitely run.
See, I hit third, he hit second, and we had like, you know, a little team going, you know. We had our own little hit and run thing going, but he could play. Oh,
Good.
he could play.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball 2. All right, let me ask you about pitchers. Excluding your own teammates like Marichal, of course, and whatever. Who was the best? Who do you think was the best pitcher in the National
one that
League?
scared me the most was Bob Gibson.
Well, hey, I'm also a member of that club.
I think I got maybe 4 or 5 home runs off him, but I didn't like him. But the guy that I really liked to hit off and couldn't hit it was Sandy Koufax.
Yeah. Well,
I love to hit off of him.
Well, Koufax was comfortable. You know, he was right over the top.
I
just couldn't hit him right.
Now, Drysdale, you know, we had battles going. I hit him.
Yeah.
I don't know why, you know, but some pitches you hit and some you don't. You know, but Gibson would he would never say hello to me.
Right.
You know, I said, Bob, how you doing? Don't speak to me. I said, Bob, what's the matter? Drysdale was the same way. I go, you know, you try to get on the good side of the pitch because you know he's going to knock you down. So, you know, but Sandy say hello and everything. You know, nothing wrong.
We talked about Bobby Bonds and how good a player he was.
Look how he goes back, Joe. He goes back very easily without any problem. And look how he jumps, like a ballet dancer. You know, a lot of people don't understand all that. Now he actually knows where he is, really. You know, I played with Bob, I think 5 or 6 years, and Bobby was a center fielder.
Yeah,
You know, he didn't want to play center field. He wanted me to play, and he wanted to play right. I told him when I was getting a little older, I wanted him to play so I could teach him as I went along, but he never wanted to play.
Hit hard to left field. Going back on his Barry Bonds. He can't get it. It's off the wall. Heading for the plate. Here comes the throw. It's not in time. And the Marlins are on the board as Conine scores all the way from first base on the double by Orestes Destrade.
That's what I was talking about, Joe, playing Eden. I know it's kind of confusing, but this ball is traveling so good now that in the other years, that ball will be coming back to him.
Exactly.
So now he's got to start thinking a little bit about, hey, can I play in or can I play back? There's no way that ball should, you know, he should come from first base on that ball.
And especially now, the line drives seem to be out there.
They're going good, yes.
Barry leaps. It's just over his glove.
Just over his glove.
Yeah, but it bounces back. And by the time, this is where I thought he made a mistake, though, Willie. He threw the ball all the way to the plate in the air, and he was off balance.
You know where that ball should have went, Joe? Second
exactly.
base.
Thank you.
Second base.
All right. just didn't want people to think I always made these things up. You know what I mean? When I say those things.
No. You three runs up. You don't need to try and get another run.
All right, 2 down, runner at second. Giants are now leading by a score of 3-1. High with a fastball to Santiago. Now watch this throw all the way in. Look how high it is.
The 2 things he done wrong here. First of all, he overthrew the cutoff man. That's number 1. It really wasn't trying to get the guy at home, but he was just mad because he didn't catch the ball. Now he's going to try and get him going home, which really helps the other team out.
Well, that was definitely because the throw was just too high and they couldn't cut it off. 1-1. Hit hard in the left center field. Bonds on the move, going back, looking up, and we are tied at 3 as Benito Santiago hits his first home run of the season. A 2-run homer. And out comes Dusty Baker. So the Florida Marlins have struck for 3 runs here in the 6th inning to tie the ball game. And the fans here act like the fans in Chicago. That's what the bleacher bums. They threw it through the baseball that Santiago hit out for a home run. They threw it back on the field.
You know, that's a good sign, too, Joe, is that these people are getting into their ball club. They don't want nobody to beat their ball club. I remember one time when I was playing in Chicago, and something happened. I hit 2 home runs there. They threw it right back. We don't want the ball. And they let me know when I went out there. Oh, they got the shirts off, too.
Yeah.
Like Chicago, yeah.
There you see Darren Lewis and Barry Bonds talking in the outfield.
Now you understand why I was saying about not wanting to play a ball club like this. They have no fear, don't really have to prove anything. All they do can go up. And when you play a club like this, sometimes you really have to fight hard. I remember a couple times I was playing with the Dodgers. My biggest letdown is the second day coming back from playing the Dodgers because I was up so high. You know?
Yeah. You can't stay that way the entire season.
You can't stay there all the time. Yeah.
Well, the problem Trevor has is he walks 6 people. The high fastball out over the plate, and Santiago knows it's gone the moment he hits it. Barry Bonds gives chase, but he walks 6 base runners, and after there were 2 down here in the 6th inning, he walked Jeff Conine, gave up a double to Estrada, and then a home run to Benito Santiago. But the walks have really hurt him. He got out of the jams because the Giants were turning double plays, but you can't continue to walk hitters and expect not to get scratched. Let's take a look at some of the home openers of the past. First home game, 1958. I'm sure you remember that. You beat the Dodgers.
1958, we beat the Dodgers, yeah.
8-0. Did you get a home run that day?
No, 2 for 5.
Okay. April 12th, 1960. The first game at Candlestick, 3-1. The Cardinals. You hit a home run that day?
No, 1 for 3.
The sad Sam Jones pitch.
You may not believe all this. Look it up now.
I believe you. No, I believe you.
See what happened?
No, I believe you. Because more than likely, I know you got a few hits.
I got a few hits, but I didn't get no home run, I don't think.
There's Juan Marichal and his wife.
You know, I faced him when I was with the Mets. I faced him one time, and I didn't want to face him anymore. This kid could pitch.
Yeah, I was lucky that I was left-handed. You know, I didn't have.
You didn't have no trouble.
Yeah, but I was lucky. Well, I had a small strike zone too. You have to remember that.
Yeah.
Well, we're all tied at 3 now, and Junior Felix is the hitter. Mike Jackson has come on in relief of Trevor Wilson, and he will be trying to get the Giants out of this inning so the Giants can get back in front or at least take an opportunity to do so in the 7th inning. Junior hit the ball hard his first time up. He lined out to center field, and then he was safe on a fielder's choice the second time up. Fastball from Mike Jackson is called a strike over the outside corner.
Jackson is a good guy to have in this spot, Joe. He comes in and he throws hard. He doesn't worry about the next guy. He just comes in and just fires the ball.
Swung on and missed another fastball as Jackson threw it right by Felix. All right, let me ask you another question. Who was the hardest throwing pitcher you ever faced?
Dick Radix.
Dick Radix.
Dick Radix for
and
Boston.
He was wild, too,
He was wild, and I only faced him a couple of times in the All-Star game, and he was kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because he was so big, and you could see a little ball in his hand looking like an aspirin tablet. Yeah. Dick Radix.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Popped up foul out of play. I guess, contrary to belief, you probably never faced Nolan Ryan because he was...
Nolan Ryan and Tom Seaver never did pitch against us. They always pitch against the Dodgers. We got Kuzman, Gentry, and Mike Andrew when the Mets had those 3 guys. Why don't you have a net here, Joe? Have it carry net.
Yeah, but we have good hands up here. And I don't want to reach out and catch it. But I protect myself inside. Mike Jackson comes on and strikes out Junior Felix. That'll do it for the Marlins here in the 6th. But they come up with 3 runs. They tie the score. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We're tied at 3.
I work for the world's largest security company. This is our office. In my line of work, people depend on me, and we depend on our car. We have 6 different people driving it, almost 24 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. We put over 100,000 miles on it in less than a year, and I've not lost 1 man-hour due to this car. One thing for sure is that we're going to have a warm seat because it never gets a chance to get cold.
Free lifetime service at Oil Changer.
At Oil Changer, we'll check all your vital fluids, even top them off.
For free.
We'll check your battery and wiper blade.
For free.
And we'll even wash your windows.
For free. Anytime you want them, as often as you want them, all those services are always free for all regular full-service Oil Changer customers.
The best chassis lube oil and filter change for the money just got better.
Oil Changer. Free service for a change.
This season marks the debut of Sports Channel's On Deck, the Bay Area's only nightly highlight show devoted entirely to the A's and Giants. Look for it 7 nights a week at 7 o'clock or before every baseball game, only on Sports Channel. On Deck, right here on Sports Channel. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Giants have to try to regain the lead. They lost in the top of the 6th. Barry Bonds has hit his 2nd home run of the season and grounded to second base. Richie Lewis throws a breaking ball low for a ball.
I think they're going to have to do a lot of this, Joe, coming from behind a little bit. I think the defense is good. If we can just hold them a little bit along the line, I think we're going to win a lot of ball games. We just seem to be in that little rut of giving up 2 or 3 runs and right in a bunch.
Yeah,
rather than in a long time.
Yeah, exactly. They're not holding their damage to a minimum.
Yeah, you're one here and one there. Yeah.
Fastball away, ball 2.
We're going to score a run.
It'll be Bonds, Clayton, and Manwaring here in the 6th inning for the Giants. The 2-0 pitch hit hard in the hole and grabbed by Brett Barberby, but they can't get Barry Bonds at first base.
He's coming up lane.
And Barry seems to be hobbling down the right field line. He's grabbing his right hamstring. And it seems to be tightening up now, because at first it seemed like he was going to be able to walk it off.
I say you play.
Yeah, it's his right hamstring. He's trying to stretch it out.
That last little stretch. If we can show it again, you can see it very clearly.
It's an infield hit for Barry Bonds, his 2nd hit of the ball game.
Leo would tell me to rub some dirt on it and keep going. I wouldn't be doing all this.
They rub some dirt on it and keep going.
Keep going, yeah.
Well, he's trying to stretch it out, his right hamstring.
Yeah. Here we go here. Watch this last little Lawrence right here. Oh, I see what he did. He hit the back part of the bag, and that's what might have hurt him a little bit.
You see, Barberry's throw is not going to be in time as he beats Lewis to the bag, easily.
Yeah.
Well, he's up and jogging down the first base line.
He'll be okay. He'll be all right. He's young. Youth.
The question is, if somebody hits one in the gap, though, would he injure it trying to go from first to
How
third?
many times have you seen a guy do this, and then all of a sudden a guy hit a gap and he flies around the bases?
I've seen them foul it off their foot at home plate, and then they hit a chopper.
Yeah, how do you get that speed? Yeah.
Well, they're still debating on it, and I'm not sure Dusty wants to take a chance. He might want to take him out and try to get some ice on it so that, he's not going to be, out for very long. I think he's going to come out, Willie, because I think Dusty's going to make that decision. Looks like.
Well, you're talking about a kid going to play every day. If you play a team like this and you got replacement, you got to let him come out for a while to see what's going on.
Well, I would think that Dave Martinez would come in, but I don't know if he wants to save him for pinch hitting duties later on. Yes, he is. He's going to bring in Carrion. I thought he might want to keep Martinez for later on in the ball game. And this guy Carrion, Willie, he can really swing the bat. I've been watching him, and he hits the ball hard just about every time at bat.
In spring training, when you're taking batting practice, you can see that this kid have power. Either he's going to hit a home run or he's going to strike out, one or the other. And we need a guy to come off the bench to do that.
Well, Barry Bonds is going to go up and get some ice on his leg, and hopefully it's not going to be serious, and he'll be able to bounce back rather quickly. But Royce Clayton is the hitter now. We're all tied at 3. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Carrion has stolen a base this season for the Giants, even though it was on a missed hit and run, but he stole the base. Clayton is 1 for 2 in the ball game. He singled in the 2nd inning and hit a fly ball to left field in the 4th inning. Fastball hit high in the air. See, Willie, if we watch that swing again, you'll see what I'm talking about. It looked like he was trying to jerk that ball out of the ballpark.
And that ball was a slider going outside, running around. If he takes that same ball to right field, I think we have a much better chance of making a base hit.
Watch his swing here.
He's got a loop in there. He's got a real wide swing. See how he go back?
And he's on his back, so I mean, that's a
home run
that's
swing.
That's a Willie Mays swing right there.
That's a home run swing, man.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it seems like he does that more than he should, but again, you know, this is just my observation, not...
Well, I watched him a lot in spring training. He does the same thing.
Yeah. So with 1 down, Kurt Manwaring will be the hitter. Fastball called a strike. Fans are having fun here at Candlestick. Giants and the Marlins are all tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Manwaring hit a fly ball to left field his first time up, and he drew a base on balls second time up. Carrion is back at first base. There's Wendell Kim. And the signs down at 3rd. Good stop at first base by Destrada. Ball almost got away down the right field line.
Wendell Kim is the type of guy you like to have around, Joe. He's what you call a do-it-all guy. He does the exercise. He does everything for the ball club. And the guys really, really love him to be around.
Well, he's a happy-go-lucky guy. He looks like he's always happy, and he's always, you know, happy in his work, and he's happy here, you know, being part of it.
Doesn't mind doing anything for anybody. He's nice for a guy to have around.
They play Manwaring straight away in the outfield and on the infield. Breaking ball hangs high, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had to have a hit and run here.
It's a good time for it. You need to get the runner to 3rd with less than 2 outs if you possibly can. Mike Benjamin is on deck. Carrion is back at first. The ball gets away, but he didn't know it, and it didn't get far enough away for him to take off for second.
You know, if I'd have been on first base, you know what I would have did? I would have caught the guy. I would have held him. I would have held him. You can't. I used to do that all the time. Get out of my way.
Yeah, but they'd let you get away with that. The rest of they wouldn't let Mark Carrion get away with that. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Runner at first. Giants trying to regain the lead. Pitch out. They thought it was on too. And now might be the perfect time to put it on. I don't think they'll pitch out again. There's Renee Latchman, the manager who may have called that pitch out. You see him giving the signs. He probably calls the pitch outs for the Mariners. I mean the Marlins. Two balls, 1 strike. Let's see if Dusty has the runner going. Yes, he is going. Fastball fouled off, and it's 2-2.
Good pitch, too. Going.
No, it's funny. I was coming to the game today, and I said, well, I know I'm going to call them the Miami Marlins before the game's over. I didn't know I was going to call them the Mariners.
Well, you're going to do that a lot because of something new coming out.
Yeah.
You know, this is the first time we're playing them. It's going to happen.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I find myself calling Barry Bobby all the time.
Yeah, well, I do that, too. I have to really fight that myself.
Yes.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. throw over and carry on his back easily. I don't have that problem with Seattle because Ken Griffey is Ken Griffey Jr. So.
Junior, yeah, one or the other.
Yeah, I don't have that problem. Runner's not going. Breaking ball hangs high, and the count goes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Another good situation to put the runner in motion.
It's a circumstance you got to be careful, as you well know, not to run too quickly. What is this called? Hit and run or run and hit?
Well, me and you would probably call it run and hit, but it's
hit and run.
Hit and run. There he goes. Breaking ball lined into center field. That's a base hit. Carry on around second. Now he stops and goes back. I thought he was going to third on the play, and he seemed to just stop. The center fielder, Chuck Carr, did charge the ball well.
But a good play on it, yeah.
But that's why you put the runner in motion, so you can gain that extra base. But Manwaring does his job by singling to center field.
If you watch it again, Joe, watch the center fielder, how quickly he comes in. But I think still the base runner should have been close to third on this ball here.
Yeah, he almost gets thrown out back at
going
second
back.
base.
He's better off going the other way.
Yeah.
You know? He actually slowed down. That's what happened there.
Oh,
He was watching the ball rather than watching the bag.
Yeah, it looks like he slowed down to make sure to hit the bag.
Yes.
Well, the Giants now have the go-ahead run at second base with 1 down. And Mike Benjamin is the hitter. Benjamin has hit a home run. As he swings and misses the breaking ball, he's hit a home run, and he's drawn a base on balls. He had a 2-run homer in the second inning, which was his first home run of the season. Giants runs have come on home runs, one by Barry Bonds, a solo homer, and a 2-run homer by Mike Benjamin. Breaking ball, called a strike, throw down to first base, not in time. Santiago will throw from his knees and throw to all bases.
There's a kid in Cleveland does the same thing.
Oh,
too.
Sandy Alomar.
Sandy Alomar, yeah. He does the same thing. I think they play together down in Puerto Rico somewhere down this area.
That's Trevor Hoffman warming up in the bullpen for the Marlins. They were both San Diego products, too. I mean, they played for the San Diego Padres. No balls, 2 strikes, one down, runners at first and second. Breaking ball in the dirt. Santiago loses it. But the runners do not move up.
I was taught too, Joe, is that when the ball goes down like this, you be on the move.
You start moving
You be
right
on the
away.
move. Now you can stop very quickly now. Whoever's on base should be pretty close to the next base.
Whenever you see, what you're saying is whenever you see the ball going toward
down,
the dirt, you automatically move up.
Move up, yeah.
Right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball swung on and foul. Benjamin just got a piece of it. You know, that's one of the things that I really feel is kind of a lost art, so to speak. No one's teaching it anymore. The proper way to run bases, you know, they just take it for granted that everyone knows go 1 base, 2 bases at a time. But you have to know all the little things that go with being a good base runner, knowing where the fielders are, etc. Breaking ball hit foul down the left field line as Lewis hung the breaking ball inside and Benjamin turned on it.
I was taught that when I was about 14, 13 or 14 to do all that. My father gave me the basics of what to do on certain situations. I knew it. Usually when it comes up, you don't have to worry about it. You just know it.
Automatic,
without any problem.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Giants had a 3-0 lead going to the top half of this inning, and now we're tied at 3. Breaking ball, check swing, and it's fouled at home plate. Count remains at 1 and 2. There's Dusty Baker. He relays the signs over to Wendell Kim, and Wendell Kim relays the signs to the hitter and the base runners. Giants have 3 runs on 6 base hits. The Marlins have 3 runs on only 3 base hits. Fastball foul back out of play, and Benjamin is doing a good job of battling Richie Lewis. Bobby Thompson's got a sore forearm, and that's the reason that he's out. And he's been out the last couple of days, and Benjamin has been playing. Breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 2-2.
I was talking to Robert today about opening day. You know, this is the first time he missed the opening day at home. And he was saying how strange it is. And I said, now you know how it feels to have the extra guys come off the bench.
Yeah.
And, you know, going out there being introduced. You know, it's
you're
these
right.
little things they don't know about.
Think about, yeah.
No, you know.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Because I guess I really didn't think about it. I think you obviously started a lot more than I did. I think I started for 20 straight years.
20?
Yeah.
I started from 1954 to 1971.
Right. Yeah. Fly ball in the shallow center field. Moving out on it is the shortstop. The infield fly rule is called. And Benjamin is retired. And Todd Benzinger will come up to pinch hit for Mike Jackson. Mike Jackson came in and did his job. He got the Giants out of the troublesome 6th inning. And now Todd Benzinger will try to make a winner of Mike Jackson in this ball game, try to give the Giants a lead and hope the bullpen can hold it. Breaking ball, called a strike on the inside corner.
Where did we get Todd from?
The Dodgers. He was with the Dodgers last year, but he was a free agent. Off-speed pitch is away and high for a ball. In fact, it was interesting because Corey Schneider went to the Dodgers and Todd Benzinger came here. You know, Houston has 3 of the Giants players: Jose Uribe, Chris James, and Kevin Bass. Breaking ball outside, and it's 2-1. And there's the bullpen core as they come in because of the pinch hitter. We're going to see Kevin Rogers, I believe. They're playing Benzinger straight away. And it's 3-1. Willie McGee is on deck.
This is kind of opening day season you like to see in a ball game, even though you're tired, you want to win, but you like to give the fans something good that you go home and talk about.
Fastball foul back, that's out of play.
Good swing, good swing.
Well, the runners will be going on the pitch. So any kind of base hit into the outfield should score. Carrion, who went in to run for Barry Bonds. Bonds beat out an infield hit, but in doing so, he came up lame, and he was taken out of the game. See Santiago look over to see who is in the on-deck circle, because that makes a difference in what kind of pitch he calls. Runners are going. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. He tried to check his swing, but could not. And that'll do it for the Giants here in the 6th. And we've completed 6 full, and we have a 3-3 tie. I want to thank you, Willie, for stopping by and say we'll welcome you anytime you're in the area. Come by and talk to us. We'll be right back, right after these.
Where's your partner?
Final question, ladies. How would you save the planet?
Tax credits for education. Aggressive environmental legislation.
Which planet?
Why do pageants Still great on the curve.
Queen of the Empire Planet.
Try a less filling beer with a lot more taste, but dry. With a beer this different,
What a surprise.
it's no contest.
Here on the set, when the lights come up and the camera starts to roll, there's no place to hide. And even one flake of dandruff, even one, can ruin it all. That's why I use Head & Shoulders. You know, it's even better than it was just a couple of years ago. Today's Head & Shoulders gets to 10 times more of the places dandruff starts. Put it to the test. Prove it to yourself. Head & Shoulders and Head & Shoulders 2-in-1. Because great hair can't have flakes.
Well, we go to the 6th, 7th inning, and we're all tied at 3. And I welcome my partner, Ted Robinson, back. I'm not unhappy that you're back, but I'm unhappy that Willie had to leave.
Me too. Me too.
And you have to realize that, you know, this is still preview week for Sports Channel, and we have 3 more days to go till the end of the week for Sports Channel. And if you're interested, you should call 1-800-926-SPORT, and that'll get you the Giants games for this coming season, also the Oakland A's games, the remainder of the Shark games, and some of the Golden State Warriors. So real good package. 1-800-926-SPORT. And this is the final few days of preview weeks. You get it free today, but you start paying pretty soon like I do.
Yeah, and as soon as I get a place to live, I'm going to order it too. I was just fascinated over in the radio booth watching the wonderful clips of Willie.
Yeah.
Hank Greenwald and I were hypnotized watching it in the radio booth.
Well, one of these days I'll go do the radio and you can work with Willie. How's that?
Well, things kind of turned bad there. That was a bad 6th inning for the Giants. So not only did the Marlins tie the ball game, but Barry Bonds injures his leg and leaves. Kevin Rogers in to pitch. He'll be the 3rd Giants pitcher. And Mark Carrion has stayed on in left field. It'll be the bottom of the order for the Marlins. Renteria will lead off. And he pops the first one up short right field. McGee is there. And that's one away. What would really help the Giants here would be if Rogers could get a quick. The Marlins were out of the field so long at bottom of the 6th that the Giants could get a quick inning here and put Florida right back out there. It would really help. Now Walt Weiss will turn around and bat right-handed for the first time. Walt's career, he has not been a very good right-handed batter. Called strike, but when he came up, Cubs manager Jim Lefevre was the Oakland batting coach, and he spent a lot of time working with Weiss trying to get him a little bit better from the left side. He got him so good from the left side, he's not hitting any good from the right side anymore. There's a pitch missing, 1-1. Wasn't all that long ago that Weiss was the Rookie of the Year in the American League, and it was just interesting how quickly he fell from grace in Oakland.
Well, I think his fall from grace were more due to injuries than really not playing well. He just had a lot of injuries. Mike Border came along and took his job.
Rogers misses inside, so it's 3-1 to Weiss. The pitcher's due up next, and the Marlins are kind of sneaky here. They put Chuck Carr in the on-deck circle. The rule is supposed to have somebody there. And there's a walk. So Rogers walks Weiss. Walks were eventually the undoing of Wilson.
The 7th walk the Giants have issued in this ballgame. Very difficult to win if you're going to issue a lot of bases on balls.
And now Alex Arias is going to be the pinch batter for the pitcher Richie Lewis. And the official word on Barry Bonds, no surprise, tightness in his right hamstring day to day. There is Trevor Hoffman, who will be the next Marlins pitcher. The next batter is Alex Arias, 25-year-old. He came over from the Cubs in a post-expansion draft trade for Greg Hibbert. Arias, an infielder, hit .293 for the Cubs last year in 99 late season at-bats. And Rogers deals ball one. Arias, a right-handed batter, sort of tall, 6'3". This is the first outing for Rogers since he surrendered a home run in St. Louis to Mark Witt that won a ball game for the Cardinals, and that's always an important outing, Joe, for a pitcher to get back out there. It took a few more days than Rogers would have liked, but to get back out there and have some success.
Well, it's very important because when you have a lot of young, inexperienced players, I won't use the word young, but inexperienced players, they have to learn very quickly to deal with the good and the bad that goes with a 162-game season.
Rogers comes inside and misses. Ball two and strike one.
A lot of ups and downs over 162 games. You're going to have a lot of good outings, hopefully, but you're also going to have some poor ones. Same as a hitter. He's going to have stretches where he couldn't hit a wall with the bat, and he's going to have others where they just can't get him out.
There goes the runner. Ground ball to third, who had scooted down low, and Williams made a nice play. Can't get Weiss because he was running with a pitch, but that was a great adjustment by Matt Williams.
Well, Matt Williams has excellent hands at third base, and he makes a good play because, as you mentioned, the ball didn't bounce. It stayed down, and that's the toughest ground ball for a lot of players because they're not down low enough to begin with, but Matt was down low and made the catch. Now watch this ball. It should have bounced, but it doesn't bounce. It skids and just stays down. Matt takes a look at second, but no chance to get Weiss, and so he throws Arias out at first base.
So two down in the inning. Weiss in scoring position, and Chuck Carr is the batter. He is 1 out of 3 today. Rogers, that's the pitch Rogers has, Joe. It's so tough. He's got a live moving fastball that when he keeps it down there, he is tough.
Well, and it's automatically moving away from the right-handed hitter, which makes it very difficult to hit anyway.
Comes inside, 1-1 to Carr.
I think sometimes young players, well, let's use the word again, inexperienced players, they feel they have to move the ball around. They'll go away like he did on the first pitch. Now he's got to come back inside. No, that's not true. If you get your rhythm to where you can throw the ball to a certain spot away, you're always going to be successful.
That's fouled. It's 1-2.
You don't have to be, a great pitcher moving the ball around. If you have a good live fastball that moves away, then you can keep it in that area.
One-two. Inside corner called third. Nice job by Rogers, and the Marlins are out in the top of the seventh. And here on Sports Channel, we have a 3-3 game. Let's take a look at what's going on elsewhere in the Major League Baseball. Brought to you by Great Western. The Cubs visiting Atlanta to see if anybody can score off that pitching staff, and they're just underway. Cincinnati and Philadelphia will play in an hour. The Mets will be in Denver tonight to play the Rockies, and the Pittsburgh at San Diego. It's the home opener for the Padres tonight. They have the largest opening day crowd in the history of the new Yankee Stadium, and Jim Abbott was the winner for the Yankees. They beat Kansas City 4-1. David Cone is now 0-2. The home opener rained out at Fenway. The Indians and Red Sox will play tomorrow morning. California spoiled Milwaukee's home opener 12-5 for the Angels. Former Giant Chili Davis had a home run there. Minnesota at Chicago tonight. And Baltimore will be at Texas also later. Too late for him. He won't watch SportsCenter tonight, will he? It's nice to know that when you go to the Giants dugout stores, you can get Giants apparel for all ages and in all sizes. Largest crowd in the history of Candlestick. The Giants, with all the changes they've made here, still are not certain exactly what their capacity is. That's one of the things that's interesting about this season. They've not only new bleacher seats, of course, but they've, because of stadium improvements made for the 49ers, an aisleway that used to exist in the lower level is now gone. That's been filled in with seats. And with all of the work that's been done in such a short period of time, the Giants realized today we don't really know what capacity is. But they do know they have the largest crowd for a baseball game in the history of Candlestick Park, regular season. And right now, they'd like to see the Giants, top of the order, try to do something. The new Florida pitcher is Trevor Hoffman, and he is going to face Willie McGee to lead off the inning. Trevor Hoffman, 25-year-old right-hander, hard thrower. And he was one of the highest picks. In fact, he was the 4th pick in the entire draft by the Marlins out of the Cincinnati farm system. And McGee takes it for a ball. 2-0. Really 3 groundouts against the left-hander Henry. Game for Hoffman. And he is high, so Willie McGee has gotten the count to 3-0.
Hoffman looks like he has a very live fastball. Not controlling it yet, but very live fastball.
And he missed there. 4-pitch walk.
And that's something you don't see very often with McGee. Get a lot of walks, but
Joe, we were just talking about this with Hank. You know, this is where you think most teams think they're going to have an edge on the Marlins and the Rockies. Middle relief. You know, this is where you think that these teams really are thin. Now, here Hoffman's got a great arm, but here's a kid who's barely been above Double-A.
Yeah, but I think that's the problem with a lot of teams. Middle relief. I mean, let's be honest. The Giants, middle relief, you know, sometimes is lacking. You can't use them every day. And I think the Marlins, with a lot of young pitchers, may be able to use them more often.
Nice bunt by Darren Lewis, and that moves McGee up. So Lewis does his job. The Giants get McGee to second base. There's 1 out in the inning. Now, the Marlins have a base open if they want to be careful with Will Clark.
Well, it's only the 7th inning, and I would find it unusual to walk someone in the 7th inning, you know, in a tie ball game, because what happens, you're putting extra men on base in case Matt Williams or somebody else gets some base hits, and you're actually giving yourself a chance to give the other, you're giving them a chance for a big rally rather than maybe 1 run. But it looks like they're going to walk him. Yeah. But I think part of this has to do with the fact that Barry Bonds is out of the ball game as well right now, because
Hoffman better make sure he knows where he's throwing those pitches.
Yeah, if Barry Bonds was still in the ball game, I would think that they would pitch to Will Clark in this situation. Try to get Will out and then try to get Matt Williams out and not have to worry about Barry. But since Barry's gone, you go ahead and take a chance on Will Clark and Mark Carrion rather than pitching to Will Clark. I still, you know, think that you're in the 7th inning. You know, if this was the 9th inning or 8th inning, I wouldn't hesitate to walk Will, but I do find it difficult to walk someone this early in the ball game and giving them a chance to blow the game open. And of course, we know Will's a great hitter, but
does a hitter take this personal? Matt Williams take this as an affront?
Well, I would, but I don't know how Matt feels. I mean, whenever they walked Pete Rose in front of me, it made me mad.
Okay.
Yeah. And because I said, he can only hit a single, I can hurt you. That's the way I felt. But, obviously they would do that on occasion.
Matt today has grounded out twice, a walk in between. The Giants now have been the recipients of 6 walks. None of the walked batters have scored in the game. A little tapping. Nope, Williams going to beat it out. The Marlins cannot turn 2. And that keeps the inning alive.
Well, the reason he couldn't turn two is because Will Clark did a great job going into second base and upsetting the shortstop Wise. He made him get in the air very quickly. I believe it was Wise covering. We'll see who was covering, but he made him get up in the air very quickly. He couldn't get anything on the throw. So you don't have to hurt someone to break up a double play. You make him go in the air and he can't throw. So he goes in the air and he's trying to throw with no leverage, and that's why he had nothing on the throw, and that's why Matt was able to beat it out. If he would have been able to plant and throw, Matt would have been a dead duck at first base, but because Will went in so hard, no chance to get Matt.
Clark and Barbary have had a couple of meetings down there today.
Yes.
Well, Mark Carrion gets a chance here. You can see he's produced well in his at-bat so far. First at-bat today. If you've just joined us, Barry Bonds, while running out an infield hit in the 6th inning, pulled up clutching his right hamstring. Was taken out of the game. Giants trying to break a tie here in the bottom of the 7th. Santiago wants to run the ball back out. It's 2-0. Benito will probably be doing a lot of that this year.
Yes.
The young pitcher. Trevor Hoffman has only been a pro 2 years. He was a shortstop when he was drafted. Played the first 2 years of his pro career for the Reds in the infield. They made him a pitcher in '91. That's why he was a real surprise to make the Florida staff. They drafted him as a project, but his arm was so impressive in the spring, he pitched his way on the team. Carrion takes, it's 3-0.
Question, if you're Dusty Baker, do you let him hit 3-0? This will give you an indication of how Dusty thinks for future reference. Nope.
Nope. And he just got the corner. Royce Clayton is the on deck. It's 3-1.
I know a lot of managers that would let him hit in that situation because you have a young pitcher on the mound who's going to take a little bit off to try to throw a strike. But most of your managers would not let him hit in that situation.
Lost him on the breaking ball. Bases loaded. Well, Giants don't have a hit in the inning. 3 walks have loaded the bases. And Royce Clayton will be the batter. Now we'll find out a little something about Hoffman here. Now he has no margin for error. He has to throw strikes.
Well, I think you'll see him go right after Clayton with a sinker with his good fastball. He's got a real heavy fastball and try to get the ground ball here. Yeah.
I think Clayton went around on it. Royce had a single in his first at-bat. He has also flied to left and popped to short. Giants have McGee at third and Williams at second, with Carrion at first. Clayton lays off that. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's McGee's the lead run. Matt Williams at second. Carrion is at first. The outfield is playing straight away for Clayton. Just a shade into left center by Chuck Carr. One. He's throwing 3 breaking balls. And he's ahead in the count. Hoffman is 1-2. Hoffman is the younger brother of Glenn Hoffman, who was an infielder in the early 80s, I believe it was, with the Red Sox. Yeah. And the Angels. right down the pipe.
Good fastball.
Wow, that's some job by Trevor Hoffman. He walked 3 but survived the inning. And we go to the 8th, still tied.
And he slides in. The ball got away.
That's one. Thrown out over there, number 1,000.
You did in New York at home plate.
And the Giants win it. Only on Sports Channel.
Call now to order Sports Channel for 115 A's and Giants games that you can't see anywhere else.
My arm is healthy. Our bullpen is great. I'm going to have fun this year.
Celebrate the beginning of a new Giants era with a red-hot fireworks show after we take care of the Braves.
And the Warriors pull it out in their final possession of the game. Here's Marshallonis. Marshallonis. Mullen, 2-1. Good! 1.2 seconds to go, and Chris Mullen, in cool, calm, composed fashion, hits it.
Will Clark, Barry Bonds, Matt Williams, and the Giants take on the 92 National League champion Braves. Tune in Saturday at 1 for the Braves and the Giants, only on Sports Channel.
Well, fans, you can follow the Giants all season long with your own magnet schedule. Perfect for refrigerators. The first 40,000 fans on Saturday will receive that magnet schedule right there, courtesy of Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages. The Giants and Braves, the game at 1 o'clock. And tickets for this and all Giants home games available by calling 510-762-BASS. You can charge by phone or visit your nearest Bass Ticket Center. With Joe Morgan, Ted Robinson back at Candlestick, we're in the 8th of a tie game. Kevin Rogers dealing to Brett Barbery. We've had 14 batters walked in this game, and only one of those batters has scored. That is I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
No, that is amazing. So I was looking at Trevor. He had walked 5, and they turned three double plays, and he had not, given up a run.